Hello. Welcome, everybody. Here for some more Legacy action.
Yes. Oh, there are things that I've forgotten to do.
Ruh-roh.
Let's get this off people's screen.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh. All right, we have people. They're seated. We had pairings. Things are
20 people today? 22 people today.
22 people today.
Wow. 22 people today.
All right. Let's, since the first player's sitting down, we got Jeff playing against Calvin. Or no, Ray.
Ray.
So Jeff and Ray, so that'll be more than likely lands versus a D&T or a Maverick. I'll be surprised if they're playing something else. I've seen it happen before.
Every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. And then on our other match, we've got Calvin versus Kyler. Let's give them a watch. Let's do that. We always like seeing Calvin's lucky top decks. He's known for it. All right.
Sweet.
Looks like they're getting started. Watch some shuffling before we get started.
And the theme of the day. Judging people's basic lands.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have your basic land game on point.
Yes. This is a big deal.
What's your favorite basic land art for each of the 5? That's tough.
Well, I told you my favorite mountain is a P3K mountain.
Yep. Yeah.
My favorite island is Lorwyn Island.
Okay.
Favorite swamp. My favorite swamp.
Lorwyn Swamp's pretty.
I actually think it might be Lorwyn Swamp, the one that's really similar to the island. I can't like one and not the other, right?
All right. Looks like opening hands are being drawn here. Let's see if they keep.
I like some of the full arts. I think a lot of people just like naturally use their full art lands if they're not carrying.
I really like the new full art swamp.
Yes.
Yeah.
The unstable full art swamp.
The unstable full art swamp to me is the best of the bunch.
I actually think the Plains is really pretty too. I don't love the other 3.
Plains is all right. I feel like for Plains you've got lots of really strong choices though, and swamp's a little bit harder. I think a lot of them look pretty similar. All right, so getting underway here, Kyler starts off with a fetch into a Sacred Foundry.
I thought we were just going to judge people on their basic lands, but...
APAC, yes. APAC Island is my favorite island.
Yes, the bridge one,
the
right?
Bridge. The bridge APAC. The Tori Bridge, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did know that.
Yeah. And
it's gorgeous.
As far as swamps go, too, the APAC that you got is really good. And that looks to be a Goblin Welder.
Oh, boy.
What it looks like to me.
Goblin Welder.
Oh, man. Do we have some painter? Some weird painter thing?
I hope so. I hope so. Okay. Got a fetch here from Calvin. He's gonna get rid of that.
Get rid of that, please.
I think I like this play.
Get rid of that, please.
As much as I wanted to see Goblin Welder do what it does.
These look like painter things. I see some red elemental blasts. I see what looks to be a grindstone.
Yeah. That's exciting. Haven't seen painter in a hot minute.
Red white painter, probably with white splash for Enlightened Tutor, something like that.
Okay.
Maybe there might be some Bomberman elements in there.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I've actually told Brian many times, I'm like, you realize how easy it would be to just like put grindstone into your deck and just like a painter.
Oh yeah.
Him.
Yeah. Him in response, we're seeing Enlightened Tutor.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yep.
You can't get this card.
I'm just gonna put that on top of my deck. He fetches up a Great Furnace.
Sure enough, we see a main deck red elemental blast. Not doing a whole lot against him to Turok, but I'm sure there'll be some good targets throughout the match.
Well, I'm excited now. We're gonna see some good combo action.
We picked the right.
Yeah,
we picked the right one.
Picked the right one. All right, so it gets a blast and gets a. Is that a grindstone? I couldn't tell.
I don't think so.
Some artifact.
3
mana Blood Moon, yeah. And
that's not a Sacred Foundry anymore.
No, it is not. It is just a mountain.
It's just a mountain. So whoa,
and
he just packs it up.
Okay.
Blood Moon just ends the game.
Blood Moon ends the game. No basics there. 4-color greedy mana base gets punished, and no force of will or anything like that.
Just to be clear, we're judging people's basic lands today.
We are.
So when a Blood Moon is played, those are all
mountains.
Those are all really interesting base. Are they basic though? They're just mountains.
Under the new rules, I think
they basic?
are. I think they are.
They're basic. They can't be okay.
Well, they can't be legendary, can
right?
They? I don't think so.
I don't think so. You don't think it just turns them into a land? I honestly don't know.
I think the artifact type stays though.
Okay.
For the
Great Furnace?
Yeah. I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor.
Me neither. I don't know. Let us know if you know, chat.
So yeah, basic lands. For me, it's the APAC Island.
Okay.
The one with the bridge.
Yep.
The new unswamp for swamps.
Okay.
Plains is a tough one. I'm a big fan of the Eurolands. I think a lot of people go for like the sunflower one.
Yeah.
But for me, I kind of like the Scottish Highlands.
You like the one with the kangaroo on it?
No. No, not really.
Yeah,
not really. And for mountain, I like those P3K mountains. Those are good.
Yeah.
And either that or like the Fuji mountain. I like that. Yeah. And forest. Okay, forest is a little bit weird. Forest, I like the 5th ed giant gnarled tree.
Are we gonna have to pull this up?
Yeah, probably. I think it's 5th ed. Oh, it's not 5th ed, is it? Oh, now I'm gonna look like a fool. What edition was that?
It didn't have a set symbol. Is it 4th?
Maybe it's 6th. What else was it in? A couple reprints. It might be in the starter with the star.
How's it going, Jorgensen?
That's the one.
This one?
Yeah.
6th ed.
6th ed.
Okay.
6th ed, off by 1 ed. That one there. I think that's a pretty solid forest.
This one's Matt's favorite.
Oh yeah.
You wanna know what's funny? My favorite forest is also Lorwyn. I think we're starting to see a trend. I think so. And I wonder if I don't know what my favorite plains is.
Plains is a tough one. It really is.
The APAC and the Euro ones tend to be the ones that like I think of, or like the Guru.
I have to say I'm not a huge fan of like the Great Wall Plains, but
I don't love it either.
Yeah,
but I really like the Sunflower one.
It looks to be a red-white painter.
Yeah. We need that. It has white in it.
It has white. We saw Enlightened Tutor last game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had Enlightened Tutor. He went and got a Great Furnace.
Yep.
Kind of interesting. Imperial Painter with no tops.
Yeah.
Who needs them?
Who needs top? Nobody needs top.
Yeah.
Painter doesn't need top.
No.
Doomsday doesn't need top. Who needs top?
Who needs top?
Nobody needs top. Miracles doesn't need top.
Trinket Mage needs top.
Trinket Mage needs top. Poor Trinket Mage.
Poor Trinket Mage.
All right, looks like we're back underway here. Calvin leads us off with a blue Delta.
Whoa. Jorgen says, I need top, and then I assume what this is a bunch of profanity. Yep, I'm going with profanity.
Yeah.
All right, Lotus Petal.
And I think see some Simian Spirit Guides in hand. I wonder if we're gonna see turn 1 Blood Moon again. Yeah,
Close enough.
close enough.
Well, at least we're gonna see a basic land. The first one of
First one of the match.
of the stream. I think we're gonna see an unhinged foil. And as much as I love the unhinged, I see them enough that
Unhinged, they're just okay in my opinion.
I'm never gonna dock anybody for using unhinged lands.
To be honest, I like the unglued better.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the unglued lands.
I like that border on the unglued. I think it's kind of a cool border.
Just a different feel to your land. Where these look enough like just the Zendikar full arts.
Right, yeah. It's
not
kind
as special
of
as they
lost its appeal over time. Like, I think when they first came out, it was a lot more unique and a lot more intriguing, but now that there are more full art lands out there, it just kind of looks a bit more basic if you ignore the pun.
Calvin just finds 2 basics in the face of Blood Moon. Typical Calvin.
Ah, yeah.
Yep, Calvin doesn't care. Did he shuffle away the basic? I don't. Maybe he feels like he. What? Did he?
I don't think so. Did he?
I don't think that would be something he would do. That'd be like top priority.
What's the final card?
I knew there was a swamp in his ponder.
Yeah.
Did he shuffle it?
He might have.
He must be looking for something else.
Might just be looking for like a lightning bolt to deal with this Magus. Figure, I've got blue. I can get my cantrips down and deal with it eventually.
Although Kyler does have a lot of counter your blue spells effects in his deck.
Plenty of those.
We're gonna see Calvin's life total go down nice and slowly. 2 damage at a time. Hey, look, another mountain. Jitte. Yes, this guy's name is Kyler. Not to be confused with Kyre.
True.
That is my name. No, Jitte is a fine card to deal with Magus. The only issue is he doesn't have a creature. Where's Bryce when you need him? Right? Exactly. What do you think Bryce would do if he saw that there was an actual other Kyler? He'd be like, wait a minute, I thought that was you. And I'd be like, no, surprise. Alright, mountain number 3. And he's got to be regretting getting rid of a swamp, right? Maybe
sure. Well, I don't see much in his hand that is castable off of the swamp. If we see that Abrupt Decay kind of sitting there, and not a ton that can be done at the moment with that. You would think maybe he'd want it for like Deathrite or something like that would get him the ability to cast that Abrupt Decay. But in his hand at the moment, there's nothing that swamp really helps cast.
No. And this is a Simian Spirit Guide just getting cast. This is just showing the amount of gas in Kyler's hand, there really just isn't much. He's just gonna double the clock.
Yeah, I think he's got like a red Pyroblast in hand. Hopefully, in the next turn or two, I think he just wants to put a bigger clock on. You know, if he gets out like a painter or something like that, then you might see this be an actual clock. Those are shock lands, Andy.
We've only seen the one sacred foundry there.
Not much in the way of top decks for Kyler. Draws a mountain, basic mountain.
Sack for 4. I mean, this is gonna get it done. Calvin hasn't been able to answer the first threat, so if he can't get this Magus off the board, he's going to lose.
White is for Enlightened Tutor is what we've seen so far. I wouldn't be surprised to see other good cards, possibly Monastery Mentor, possibly Bomberman type effect. And here we see actual Blood Moon coming down, and that's going to make it a lot harder for Calvin to get out from under this lock.
He has a Force of Will that he can cast, but the issue there comes as it actually increases Kyler's clock by a turn.
Sure.
So he decides not to do that.
Calvin down to 5. He would have faced lethal next turn if he went for that line.
Down to 1.
Down to 1. And looking for something to do here.
Yeah.
Looks like he finds a land, and that's it.
Another mountain. The game's over. Blood Moon. So this just shows how fragile the 4-color decks can be to land
a very quick Blood
interaction.
Moon, and I think Painter's at even more of an advantage there, being able to play cards like Pyroblast and the like to make sure those Blood Moons land.
All right, so we
didn't see Blood Sun at all, Andy.
We didn't. But we've got our backup match here. We've got Ray on his usual, which is lands, and Jeff on his usual, which is Death and Taxes. And I would assume we're in probably game 1 or 2. Maybe game 1.
It's a duel of the unbasics.
Yeah, not doing a whole lot for me. the unforest non-foil. What I give that like a 3 out of 10.
Nah,
like step your game up. Your deck is lands.
And
your deck is lands.
Yeah.
And you can't even get one pretty forest.
Yeah. And as far as planes go,
same thing. It's a 5.
Yeah,
it's a 5. It's right.
It's dead in the middle.
Dead in the middle.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just fine.
Just there.
It is. I have a friend building Death and Taxes right now, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna use the unstable planes." And my jaw just dropped, and I was like, "You're gonna what? You're gonna play Death and Taxes with unstable planes?" And no.
That's the name of the game. Judge
Jorgensen.
basics.
Literally, all we're doing today is judging basics.
Yeah,
that's all we're doing.
Name of the game.
It has. I don't care. I don't care about what Ray thinks. I care about what you guys think, and I care about what we think. Now that that's clear, we all good. We're all on the same page. We're judging lands today. Basic lands. We have to rate them all. Calvin's were foil, so they get a 6 out of 10 instead of a 5.
Yeah.
For me. It's my personal judgment. But Ray does have Glacial Chasm working. He's got, he's only got 1 life left, so he needs life from the loam to continue to keep this up. But as long as he's
definitely got that loam working overtime,
yep.
and
to do so, you need that exploration. So he's sacking 2 lands a turn.
Sure.
He's also playing 2 lands a turn. He would like to find one more thing.
We're kind of playing the waiting game here. We do see that Jeff has a swords in hand, which would deal with the Merit Lage. Tabernacle is another good card right there. That's going to really tax Jeff's mana, ironically.
Gets too taxing now.
And Jeff finds the wasteland to take him off
kill
of
the glacial
chasm.
All right, so at least one game under Jeff's belt there. We'll have to see what happens. Looks like they're definitely going to another game.
Sure.
Oh my goodness, Jorgensen called me Mr. Judgy McJudgerson. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel about that.
I don't know, man. Worst art basic. What's the worst art basic?
Worst art basic?
Worst art basic that you can think of.
Probably like one of the Shadow over Innistrad basics. Man, they were awful.
Yeah.
There were a couple that were really bad. Do you have a particular one in mind?
I don't. I think a lot of the mountain arts are kind of a little bit suspect. Like, so
they're pretty bland.
Yeah. Like, there's so much that you can do with mountain art, and a lot of them are just kind of like, blah. Here's a red mountain.
Here's a look. It's a mountain. Which is funny because like I mentioned my favorite mountain. I'm gonna pull it up.
Yep.
Yeah. So this one's my favorite. This one.
Yeah.
Right here,
yeah.
and
that's
like
a really solid
it is just a
one.
mountain, but like look how much color's in it.
Yeah.
Like they clearly put some time into like making it all work. It is my #1 favorite. It's really pretty.
That's a good one.
And then you said you were a fan. You're a fan of the other two.
Yeah, I like them all for different reasons. I think the one on the left there, far left, is my personal pick is favorite, but
okay.
Probably left to right is kind of like my order there.
Your order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're great looking. Two portal swamps. I like
portal swamps.
Portal swamps are very pretty.
For sure.
And Urza's Islands and Plains. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Urza block had great basics. I accept all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say there's some in Portal that are like amazing, and there are some others that are just meh.
Sure.
They're not all great. Not like P3K. I honestly think that every land in P3K is like amazing. They have some of my favorite basics.
Lorwyn's pretty solid.
Yep.
You know, we were looking at the invasion art, and
yeah,
invasion art, very solid lands.
Really pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andy Prime, Lorwyn, I actually mentioned at the beginning of the stream. I'm not sure if you were in, but my favorite island, my favorite swamp, and my favorite forest are all Lorwyn.
Amonkhet's pretty bad.
Yeah, they were bad. Mm-hmm. Which is funny because I feel like we've had more bad basics in like the last 5 years than we've like ever had before.
Sure.
We've had some good ones too, right? Like it's not like all of them are bad. I was actually really impressed with a couple of the Ixalan ones. I liked the Raul Vitali cycle and the Minium cycle. All right, looks like we've got a mulligan here.
Looks like we got mulligans on both sides.
Yeah, the island and the swamp do go together. Yes, and those are my two favorite. That's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me see if I can pull up my favorite forest.
Favorite forest?
Yeah. This one. Yeah, this one's my favorite forest.
Yeah.
In foil, it is the most beautiful thing
I can see that. Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. See, oh yeah, right here, guys. Mm-hmm. The plains might be my favorite as well because this is my favorite forest right here, and this is the plains that goes with it.
Yeah.
And same thing with the swamp. So
I love it when they do that sort of stuff.
This is the island.
Yeah.
And this is the swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are my two favorite of their Yeah, Lorwyn basics, guys. They're really something.
And look at all the color in there. It's so
Mhm.
different from most of the other like swamps and stuff that you see.
Right.
Mirage, pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually like quite a few of the Mirage lands.
Yeah.
But I in fact, I want to say the Mirage Islands are the ones that I really, really like. But Invasion's the one where I've been looking at them lately. Like, how did I not realize that these lands were so pretty?
Oh yeah. So starting off here, we've got a Mox Diamond. That's gonna pitch a land, and then we're gonna see a Wasteland to follow that up.
Ghost Quarter and Graveyard. No turn one loam.
No turn one loam. Or maybe he's just holding off on it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he's got the gamble.
Maybe.
And we see Wasteland meets Wasteland off of Jeff.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Any brown frame land. M15 Plains 251.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. I could get behind that.
Oh yeah, I like the pink and the purple in the sky for sure. I can definitely see that, Jorgensen. You like your brown frame land for sure. I'm a fan of more old school basics than I am newer ones. That's for sure.
Another Wasteland on Ray's side there, mismatched, but still doing the job.
I mean, who is this guy? Me? No, he's gonna pop down an expedition one next, and I'll be like, "Oh my goodness, it is me."
Are there 4 different Wasteland arts?
There are 5. There are 5. Yeah.
5.
Yeah. So there's
the Judge,
OG, Eternal Masters, Expedition, Judge, and what's the other one for, guys? The other Wasteland. You know, no, beta basics are fine, Jay Winner.
I really dislike the beta planes.
Okay.
I think the art's just really kind of
some people just like love the old basics just because nostalgia. But serious talk, they're not really all that pretty.
Yeah.
They're really not gorgeous. I mean, aside from the fact that the nostalgia really is awesome with them.
Judge EMA Tempest Expedition.
No, there is one more. There is one more. Jorgensen, there is another one.
So, crop rotation coming in on Wasteland. Let's see what Ray pulls.
MPR, thank you. MPR. So yeah, there are 5 of them.
MPR.
Are they both? Are they both Judge?
2 Judge.
2 Judge, Expedition, Eternal Tempest. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I knew there was another one.
Yeah.
That's what I need to get because I have 2 of the Tempest ones, and that's just I can't have my cards match. It just hurts.
All right, so we're gonna see a Dark Depths coming in, and Merit Lage being made.
Yep.
Here's my 2020.
Yeah, but he's got to do this main phase so that he can play around the Wasteland.
Sure. And I believe I saw a Swords in Hand, so I don't think this will be game.
Oh, there's a Crocus, so he's definitely
Crocus,
fine.
Okay.
Activate Crocus. Yep.
Cool.
This seems like a good idea.
Yeah. In for 2.
I think he wants to play this Stoneforge. I don't think there's any reason to keep the Wasteland untapped this turn. What do you get here? Do you just get Batterskull, or do you think?
Looks like he's going for a sword. I probably would have got a Batterskull, but I don't think it matters too much.
It could.
I suppose if this keeps off of it stops his Thalia from being hit for 2 damage by punching fire.
Oh, okay, Jorgensen. That's right. One of the judges has the same art as the Tempest, but its frame is pretty different, isn't it? That's right. So yeah, 4 different arts. You got me. I just remembered that there were like 2 weird judge promo type dealios. German revised, huh? Black border. Yep. There are 2 judge arts? Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, I could have sworn there were 5 arts. I want to say I counted at one point. Interesting. So we've got a wasteland on
Wasteland.
Mishra's factory.
Okay.
Both are different. Okay, thanks, Pro Black Knight. Appreciate that. And an attack for 3.
Wow. Okay. So
a whole lot going on here, but
yeah, and a Revoker coming in.
So Revoker cannot name land. However, it can name mana. Like it stops mana abilities.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he probably named Mox Diamond.
Mox Diamond. Yeah.
Probably. He can see that Ray is choked on lands, which is weird because his deck's called lands.
Mesa Ith's gonna prevent some damage coming in, so still only 3 a turn. But 3 a turn is still a decent amount. Yep.
Yeah, it's the Carl. I can't pronounce his last name. That's the one I couldn't remember the art of. I remember this
Carl
one.
Krishlow.
Yeah. I remember the Steven one. I couldn't remember the other one.
Yeah. Oh, more you know.
Yeah, thanks for sharing the link, Jorgensen.
Yeah.
Okay, Ghost Quarter, and not like Jeff's got a million basics, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like, yes, this Ghost Quarter can take care of the Caracas, which is clearly a problem for Ray. But this game is just not looking like Ray's gonna get there.
Well, yeah, and still no life from the loam action going on. That being taxed by Valley is actually rather important if Mox Diamond is offline.
Right.
Maze doesn't make mana.
This is really curious to me. It looks like Jeff is opting to activate Stoneforge's ability, which is weird, right? Like he has a Maze of Ith. Why would you try to buff up one creature?
Yeah, I don't
like,
know.
I feel like I'd want to put more things on the board.
I don't know what that is. The only thing I can think of is if he has a Batterskull to put in, but we don't think that he has a Batterskull right now.
I mean, that could have been the reason that he decided to go get Sword of Fire and Ice.
Mm-hmm. Like, if he does have a Batterskull, then it kind of makes sense because he's adding more to his board that way.
Right.
All right, so Ray finally able to get some life from the loam action going. He finds that crucial 3rd land.
Yeah. Yep, that was quite the top deck there.
And here we see the activation. Let's see what he puts in here. There comes a sword.
Very nice.
And that to me is kind of odd and a little bit awkward. I think that Ray should probably be at 8 here. I don't think that sword's going to be relevant.
Now, if Jeff had a wasteland to get rid of the maze, then I would understand this play.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He drew a plains for the turn, which is going to help him. Yeah, I think you're just...
If you're Ray, I think at this point you're looking for something like Glacial Chasm or Tabernacle, and then you're looking for a way to get your Dark Depths and Thespian Stage online, and then you've got the answer to the Caracas in play, and you just kill the Caracas and try to go for it.
Now, Jeff has another Phyrexian Revoker in hand, and he's gonna equip the sword.
Yeah.
Why not at least play like a Mom or something that can attack and like pressure Ray's life total?
Sure. Yeah, I agree. This sword looks a little bit awkward on this board.
Yep, there's a Glacial Chasm.
So Glacial Chasm coming in.
Green.
Yep, float green. Probably gonna see a Life from the Loam get activated here. Rebuying some of those lands.
Should have put it on the Stoneforge, 100%.
Yeah, at least very threat size. Yeah,
he'd be at 5 if he, right? Yeah, that was just strange.
So couple points of damage missed here on Jeff's side.
And you know, with Ray doing what he's doing right now, I think those points of damage are going to matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, it really depends on how quickly Ray can recover and keep this glacial chasm going.
Yeah, that's a good point, Andy Prime. Maybe he is trying to play around a punishing fire on Thalia, trying to keep it on the board.
Yeah, that's possible.
I still think the damage would matter more.
Ooh, Port is a good draw for Jeff there.
Yes, now he can keep Maze from doing what it needs to do, but he still needs to deal with the glacial chasm.
Sure. Flicker Wisp. Yeah. Flicker Wisp your chasm. Attack with the team. Get in a little bit more damage.
So when Glacial Chasm comes back into play, he's going to need to sack a land, isn't he?
He will.
Wow. Yeah, Flicker Wisp looks really good there.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's got a second Flicker Wisp. It looks like he's got a Recruiter.
Yeah, he would be at 1 here. That would be pretty brutal.
Although there's no exploration, I don't know if Ray can live here, unless he finds a tabernacle or.
Ray has a stage, so that's gonna buy him at least a turn.
Okay.
Kind of surprised.
Is there another Flicker Wisp or a Wasteland? I think those are the things that would seal the deal at the moment. What does Ray need? I mean, he needed.
Ray needs a lot of things. Ray needs.
He has no additional land drops. His Life from the Loams costs 3.
I think Ray needs something along the lines of like land next turn into punishing fire on the Phyrexian Revoker into some form of like stabilization, and even that might not be enough.
So electing to draw a card with Horizon Canopy. Does he have a Recruiter? I really thought he had a Recruiter. Maybe he doesn't.
Another Port put into play, and Port's okay here, but it's not nearly as good as say like Wasteland. Like Wasteland would be insane here.
99% sure he does. He's got a Mom. I know that. He's flicking his cards fast.
Yeah, there's a Recruiter in his hand for sure. Probably should have.
1005% chance, huh? Oh no, just 100. Okay. 3 mana, and here's this. You got a Recruiter here, right?
If you have the Recruiter, you have to go for it here.
Yeah, you got to get the Flicker Wisp to play next turn.
It's quite obvious you've seen the line with Flicker Wisp before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I assume we're gonna find a Flicker Wisp here. There we go. He found it. Yeah. He found it.
Okay. So.
Yeah, what was weird about that is I don't think he had the Rishadan Port, the second one, in his hand when he cracked Horizon Canopy.
Sure.
So he actually like took the risk of not being able to Recruiter this turn.
Yeah, kind of weird sequencing for sure.
Maybe he was thinking, I want a Wasteland right now. Like that seems like way more way more clutch than just playing the Recruiter here. Looks like the players are discussing something here. Yep.
Interesting. So I believe Ray needed to copy that before it died.
He's not. He's just gonna. Oh, he's gonna. Okay. Yeah, he just draws. And didn't get what he wanted.
And yeah.
I'm not sure if Jeff took this one down 2-0 or 2-1. I think we did miss game 1.
Right.
Since this was our backup match.
regardless, Jeff takes the match, and Death and Taxes putting the hurt on Lance.
Yeah, I do think Ray had a really rough draw up.
Definitely, yeah. Really tight on mana, and getting that Mox Revokered was huge.
The Revoker plus the Thalia, and now he's just sitting there with like a bunch of lands that don't tap for mana.
Yeah, and really kind of weird sequencing that needed to happen for like having to main phase the Dark Depths, because he did have that early Dark Depths.
Right.
Just wasn't able to get it. Yeah, Jeff had the Caracas.
Yeah, it was the second Caracas too. The first one got wastelanded.
For sure.
He, clearly felt that was going to matter, and then Ray's going, okay, well, now's my opportunity. Your wasteland's tapped. Let's get a 20/20 in play.
Just go for it.
And I'm sure Ray was like, if he has a sword, it's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. But Jeff had
life.
much better than a sword.
Yeah, for sure.
Krakus looked great there. Life from the Loam wasn't able to be cast yet, so he couldn't just go back, get another wasteland, take care of the Caracas, and try to reassemble Merit Lage there.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right, Andy. Explore something along the lines of that might have been an out, but drawing very thin.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many lands decks are playing Explore though.
I'm not sure either. Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see it. That's for sure.
I think most just run Exploration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a couple more minutes, but oh man, Tuesday we got to talk about. Have you seen the new Jace spellbook?
Yeah,
dealio?
the spellbook. Yeah, those are looking pretty cool. What's your favorite card out of the spellbook?
Oof. Let's pull it up. Signature spellbook. I know we talked about this a little on Tuesday, but
I really like that blue elemental blast. I really do.
It's fantastic.
It's great.
It is much better than the other two, I think.
Yeah. I thought the brainstorm art was a little meh.
Okay.
But having a foil brainstorm with Jace,
it's pretty awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Jace is known to do the brainstorm thing.
Yeah.
I like the flavor text on it as well, which is something I normally don't care about, but I actually really like it.
Yeah.
I've been talking about this a little bit, like, because for me it's all about cube, right?
Yep.
And like what addition I want in my cube. The Gifts Ungiven in the Mystical Tutor I like much more than their others.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say that Mystical Tutor and Gifts Ungiven are like the most amazing or anything, but I think they are much better than their originals.
Yeah. I have to say, I think that the border looks really nice. I think that the mana symbols and the like look really good. Like, it's nice. It looks like it's a solid part of the card. It's not hard to read, but it's still kind of subdued, which I like. And I think that the cards that they went for are pretty good. Like,
Threads of Disloyalty is the
Threads was kind of an odd one.
That's the only one that I look at, and I'm like, that one's weird.
Yeah.
Kamigawa Gifts is a work of art. I'm not a fan, but I mean, to each their own.
Kamigawa Gifts is fine. Yeah.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Loose Vowel Movement, thank you so much for the sub. Jeez, what a hero. What a hero.
But yeah, that blue elemental blast art, I love it. It's great.
I was thinking about, so these are MSRP at $20.
$20,
okay, which I look at this and I actually think that the value is quite good. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, if you're an EDH player, the value is good. You're because like this Jace is like the most used Jace in EDH.
I'd believe it.
Okay. Yep. And then like Gifts Ungiven, pretty sweet, but Mystical Tutor all over in EDH as well.
Sure.
Counterspell even is. Yeah. So like there's a lot of different uses for all these cards. I'm personally looking at these four for me.
Yeah.
Now, I have, like, in my cube, I have an EMA Brainstorm. Okay? I am a huge fan of what they've done with this border.
Yeah.
Love it.
For sure.
And I would probably rather have this. Yeah, Gifts has been an EDH. I was talking about Mystical Tutor. I was talking about Jace Bellerin and Mystical Tutor being good for the EDH players. Yeah, like the counterspell probably is too. Even the negate's like pretty decent. This is the one where I look at and I'm actually like really impressed with what they've done with it. No flavor text on this one.
Mm-hmm.
The art is just.
I think
really
I'm always
good-looking.
kind of surprised when they go for cards like Negate, which have had so many prints of it already. I was kind of expecting them to do counterspell, but then have one different card draw thing. Like you've got the brainstorm, but I was thinking that might be like a ponder or something like that.
That would have been a lot better.
But
one thing that another thing that I'd like to mention. Look that we've changed the gem.
Yeah.
Okay. This is so since we had the new borders,
sure,
or whatever,
yeah.
and all the rares have these gems on them. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to look at this going, wouldn't it be great if we could have a unique thing for each set?
Yeah.
Because honestly,
watermarky, but
kind of watermarky.
Yeah.
Right, but it makes the gem look less dumb.
It makes it look a bit more like it's a part of the card,
yes,
not just like tacked onto the bottom.
Right.
This is my bejeweled card. Like,
so besides the fact that I don't really love the threads of disloyalties here,
mm-hmm.
I have one other complaint. What the heck is up with the loyalty on Jace?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Like,
I think the weirder thing is the font that they chose for the 3.
Sure, but like, look, they kept this symbol for the 2, the -1, and the 10, but they got rid of it for the loyalty.
Yeah. And
they have this like, so if you look at like kind of these like little wave type dealios or like a shark fin or mm-hmm. whatever you want to call them, and it kind of comes out here and swishes up.
Yeah.
They just they added like a little bubble like it's supposed to be there. It should have just gone
over the top, like. If you just stamped it over the top, it would have looked fine.
Doesn't it look ridiculous? I'm sorry, it looks so stupid. You don't know how to feel about that? I'll tell you, it's ridiculous. I mean, you can read it, right? Like, but I feel like the white tint on and like the mana symbols in white looks so good, all of it, amazing. What the heck is up with the 3?
Yeah,
like. What is that? What is that fit?
Kind of a little weird. You've got this tilt down by Jace's head too, like the bubble just drops down.
But, oh, I didn't notice that either. Yeah. It looks like it's supposed to do this kind of thing, but the head is over it, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't do that on the other cards, which is weird.
You're right. It doesn't do that on any of them. So Matt's referring to this little part by the head. That is weird. I think it's definitely supposed to have this kind of a feel.
Oh yeah,
right here. You're not making a judgment on these cards until you see them in person.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. I think at $20, it's a really good price point. And
I agree.
I think like what you're getting is kind of a cool product. So
I like it so much more than FTV. Let's say that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And not only that, but so those of you who don't know, you get one of each of these 8 cards. Okay, and then you get one additional card, and it will be a random foil that is one of the 8 cards. So you get 9 total cards. I mean, let's be real. Most of these foils are going to have good value.
Yep.
Like I said, it's probably these 2 that if you get a foil, you're going to be like, eh. But the counterspell, this is, in my personal opinion, this is the best counterspell art. The only problem is it was only done on like a dual deck, and it looked awful.
Looked horrible.
It was horrible.
Like, yeah.
And so like nobody uses them, but like this border is so cool looking.
Better. Yeah.
Like no flavor text, just counter target spell. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Looks like we got players sitting down.
We do?
We might have some more legacy.
No.
We might have some more basic lands to judge.
Oh, now that I can get behind.
We have some pairings.
Brian and Drew, and we've also got
Steven versus Gordon.
Steven versus Gordon. No, I'm not sure what Steven will be on. but I think Gordon's probably on Storm. We haven't
could
seen
be
Storm
fun.
in a little while.
That could be fun.
I think that could be fun to watch real
Yeah.
quick. And then Brian,
real quick.
real
Yeah.
quick, Brian has got to be on Food Chain, and Drew, I want to say he was on either a 4-color or like a Delver build last time we saw him.
Yeah, I don't think they've said anything about the foiling process yet.
Yeah,
what
haven't.
they're going to do with it, and that again could be something that makes or breaks the
Huge,
product.
huge. If they're like an FTV foil,
Yeah.
nobody's going to want them.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
They need to understand that they need to put a little time and energy on these foils.
Yeah.
It's not like they have to print 1 million of them like the FTV, right?
No.
They can probably be a little better about them. All right, let me see what's going on here. I'm gonna have to update the information, but I'll get over here. So,
All right.
whoops, that's not what I meant to do.
I don't think that they don't take feedback. I think they're just very slow to implement. Like, and I have no clue what they have to do to get things changed with like the companies that like print for them and the like that's hard to get things changed really quickly.
You know what's funny though? I hate the FTV foils,
Mm-hmm.
but the transform, because it was foil on both sides, they don't bend.
Yeah.
They like balance the sides like balance each other out, and they're completely flat FTV cards. Now I still don't love the foiling process, but they're probably the best FTV cards that we've seen yet.
Right.
and that's I love that was the last one they did. They're like, oh look, we actually kind of did it like okay, and then they're like, all right, we're getting rid of it, you know. All right, okay. Okay, so I want to say last time I saw Steven, he was playing Burn. Burn against Storm would be quite the matchup. Okay, like
That would be
race to the finish.
Yeah, for sure.
It is hard to go off with tendrils when your life total is like 9 on turn 3. Or
Yeah,
2.
it can be. Looking for some quick kills.
But he might not be on Burn. We'll see.
Gordon's definitely on Storm.
Right, Jay Winner, I completely agree. They put some of the best art on the invocations, and the card frame is terrible.
Yeah, and the big killer for me is the text. Like,
Yes.
the illegible text is just so brutal. So,
Steven, definitely on Delver.
yeah, that's Underground Sea into a Delver. And Tropical Island into a Gitaxian Probe for Gordon.
Yep.
And Steven lays them out. We see Lightning Bolt, Polluted Delta, Ponder, and Gurmag Angler are the cards in hand.
Alright. So, Grixis Delver, probably one of the better decks against Storm. Just because it has so many ways to interact with them.
This hand in particular, though, not very interactive.
Not so much, no.
I think if you're... Whoa. I got a flash of a card there that could be interesting.
What do you think you saw?
I thought maybe I saw a Doomsday.
A Doomsday with the Tropical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some Doomsdays run 4-color.
He's jumping on that train with you then.
Let's see.
Matt's been playing
He
some
puts
Doomsday.
he put it to the bottom, so we'll see. Here's the opening, or excuse me. Here comes Probe into the hand for Gordon. That could be just be me trying to be hopeful, though. So we see Preordain, Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, 3 lands. Not amazing.
Yeah. This Val movement, you say your FTV maze is still pretty flat. That's excellent. I actually have quite a few FTV cards. I keep them in my cube, so most of them are actually very flat. They're kept in piles, you know, like that are kind of tight. So I don't have too much of a problem with it. But man, I've seen some bad FTV cards. I've seen some bad ones. Leonidas is excited about Doomsday. Doomsday.
always.
Did you just get people excited for
I'm
no reason?
always excited about Doomsday. I really hope it is Doomsday, but I don't know if it is or not. I saw a glimpse of a card that looked like it could be Doomsday.
So you're saying that we might have a painter deck and a Doomsday deck in this room?
I would be so happy. If
22 players, and I know that we've got the gate. The gate is in the room as well.
Yeah.
Who knows what else we've got going?
Delver flips. Gordon saying, "Yeah, attack me." Down to 15. Doomsday is an awesome deck to play now. It's actually what I'm starting to play.
Matt's been sharing some stories with me.
It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Preordain coming in. We're gonna scry 2, draw a card. Likes one of them. Oh, he's thinking about it.
Because of duress.
He's thinking about the order here. He likes both of them. Draws a card. He's gonna have to fetch away if, well, not necessarily. He's just gonna wait past turn.
We haven't seen any Conjurer's Baubles, so we don't know yet.
Days is the reveal, and Days not as hard to play around when you've got a lot of lands, as Gordon does in hand, and you know about it. But now the clock is significant against Gordon. He's going to have to figure out what he's going to do and do it quickly. So I think this is Gordon's last turn. We do know Bolt is in hand for Steven.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll come out here at the end of the turn.
All right, so third land comes into play. Steven, Gordon looking at his cards.
Definitely a duress.
It's like
there.
A duress. This could be a kind of a duress for more info and kind of go along our way, but
as you go out,
let's see if we see anything spicy.
I did not. Didn't get too good of a glimpse though.
There's duress.
I only get to see one new card here.
He could just be on Storm.
He's known for Storm, so I assumed he was on Storm.
So easy to switch back and forth.
You like to see the elite player with the lands in front, huh? We've got a few. He's typically a Storm player though, so not playing a whole lot of creatures.
For sure. All right, Ponder is play.
So I ended up just taking a Stifle out of the hand. That is good information to know. Know if you're
Stifle's definitely a good one to know about. We're gonna see a Daze here, and that's gonna prompt Gordon to fetch, and Gordon's gonna know if he can get there. The coast is clear.
So here's the Dark Writ. Do you think he actually has the Doomsday?
He would need. Well, here's the thing: if he had Doomsday, he would have to have 2 cards that do something here, and he's only got 1.
Right.
So, it would have to be into. I can't even think of anything that would do it here for Doomsday. No, that's ad nauseam.
That's an ad nauseum. Definitely Storm. Cool. See, look at that, getting people's hopes up.
My hopes and dreams are dashed along with you, chat. I wanted it so bad.
That's okay. I've been informed by a reliable source that you are going to be building Doomsday.
I am, and I will
which
be
means
playing
on Tuesdays you can come and play some Doomsday.
I will definitely be playing some Doomsday in these tournaments in the next couple of months.
Awesome.
All right, so we're getting out. These are counters for different types of mana and the like, and for Storm count just to be used.
Oh, and can I just mention these are real cards that he's using.
Yeah. Nice Black Lotus.
Yeah, no biggie.
No biggie.
My Black Lotus is my Storm counter. Just has to be a part of the deck.
Oh yeah. All right, so up to 6 Storm count, 6 black mana floating, I believe.
Yep.
And we're gonna see a Dark Petition. Is it? I can't tell.
Yeah, Dark Petition.
Dark Petition.
So Dark Petition, and then Steven's gonna respond with a Lightning Bolt. So he's gonna go to 4.
Adds to that Storm count.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is even from this point, I feel like, well,
okay. So he's just gonna go for Tendrils, and that's enough because Steven's at 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Storm count was 9.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, cut that one pretty darn close. But Gordon's gonna pick up game 1.
Last turn possible.
See, we get to blame Leonidas. We get to blame Gordon for the hype ruined,
Right.
even though I like already knew he was playing Storm.
Need more spice.
We need more spice.
Bolting there did seem bad. He would have been only able to deal 16 damage, I think. He would have had to do something else.
And this is why you love Storm, huh?
Storm's a pretty awesome deck, I'm not gonna lie. Like
the people who master it, I can't say enough good things. Like the man, it is just it's just such a crazy deck. All right, our backup match is also shuffling, so guess we'll just stay here for a moment. These guys will get started with their game 2. But so Matt was telling me that he's been playing Doomsday lately.
Yep.
And this last weekend I got I did a double up event down in Phoenix.
Yep.
I went down there for the GP, and I registered with my Jund deck.
Yep.
3 rounds. You know, the prize payout is just insane.
Yep.
So I played against, my round 1 opponent was on Enchantress.
Okay.
Which for Jund is kind of interesting because if they can get their engine running at all, I am not going to keep up with it. I mean,
sure.
I think that's how it works most times with Enchantress, though. It's like once they get their engine running, you're probably just dead. But I was able to take that match, and then my round 2 opponent was on Doomsday.
Awesome.
He had a foiled out Doomsday deck.
Nice.
Okay. Triple sleeved.
Yep.
Okay. So he was hardcore on
All
Doomsday.
about it.
And
I love it.
One of
That's great.
one of the people who I met playing Legacy Jund came up behind him during the match, and he goes, "Whoa, Kyer," you know, like, "Hey, what's up?" and I was like, "Hey, how have you been doing?" And he goes, "Oh, good. I just came over here to see how my buddy was doing, and he's playing against you." And I was like, "Oh, nice." And he goes, "Yeah, this guy is actually like one of the most known Doomsday players, and he's just been on the deck forever."
That's sweet.
And I cannot remember his name, mostly because I can't remember anybody's, but it was really cool. I was able to beat him, which was fun. Hint to Turok, it's a good card.
It is. It is. All right.
Yeah, the new Doomsday art is very pretty.
The 5 meatballs.
The 5 meatballs. You gonna get them altered? Or are you gonna get the old school Doomsday?
I don't know, man.
I
might go one of the new ones in my board for the wish board.
The wish board?
The old ones.
Old ones for the main. Oh, that's cool. That's
Something
cool.
like that.
Get behind that.
All right, so Probe starts out. We see lots of Lotus Petals. 3 Lotus Petals, an LED, and an Infernal Tutor, and land. 1 unknown, and a Dark Petition.
This is a solid hand.
That's quite the hand. We could potentially see a turn 1 here if things line up correctly. Looks like they don't, though, so Gordon's just going to pass the turn back. Be patient. Brainstorm here for Steven.
HC Fox, welcome.
I think if you're Gordon, you got to be pretty happy that there was no Cabal Therapy to follow up that Gitaxian probe.
Oh yeah, seeing 3 Lotus Petals. Could you imagine like how much Gordon would have to do to work back into into the game like after losing something like that?
Oh, it'd be a brutal uphill battle for sure.
Oh, judge the basics. Judge the basics.
Oh,
it's P3K. It's P3K. I think I mentioned something about how I liked all the P3K lands. I think I did.
Yeah, for sure.
I give Gordon an 8.5 out of 10 for that.
Brainstorm lock, possibly, but he has force in hand, so he's not dead without Gordon having something to duress. All right, Lotus Petal number 1 coming down. Infernal Tutor for, I'm gonna guess an LED.
It's gonna be a Dark Ritual if the other card's a Dark Ritual.
If it's a Dark Ritual.
But yeah, you're probably right. It's just gonna look at LED here.
Yeah, that's gonna hit Force Stifle, Force Pitch Stifle.
Yeah, I like this from Steven quite a bit. Andy Prime does not like this. You do not like. I mean, he's still got a lot of gas, and he still has Infernal Tutor, but. And you should not pitch Stifle. Why shouldn't you pitch Stifle? What does Stifle do in this matchup? Does Stifle work on the Storm Trigger?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Surgical's the reason why we see that happen.
Okay.
So Surgical, we see second. Yeah, that would have been.
Things are making sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, Steven has a plan.
Definitely. You know, like I was looking at that going, okay, like this is a clear 2 for 2. You're knocking a petal out of their hand. Like probably pretty okay, right?
Yeah.
With this backup,
sure.
Surgical, I'm liking the counter quite a bit more.
Yep, and you get to see the deck, see what they're working with, and now they're pretty much all mana. Have to find something that will get you up to Dark Petition, and then they can try to go off with like Adnos, but
right. And he's gonna have to, and
Goblin Plan is dealt with that.
Why play it now?
Unsure. He might be worried about a duress or something like that.
You don't want them to know that you have an answer to their Goblin Plan, but I guess you're just going for Tendril. I don't know. We'll see what he's got. No threat yet from Steven.
Second Stifle. Stifle that land. Yep. Draw for turn.
New land.
Play land.
Can mess up timing LEDs? Aren't LEDs a mana ability?
The crack on the engineered explosives can mess up LED timing.
Oh, okay. I follow.
I find that that's usually not too relevant, Andy, most of the time. Like, they'll just let one go. They're not usually that mana dependent when they're going off. Like, by the time they're going off, they're going off. Sometimes it can have a minor effect, but most of the time it's not.
Need EE to set up Galvanic Blast.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fox.
There we go.
Thank you, Fox. Not only that, but like holding up 2 mana is kind of weird anyway. Now, Delver missed its first flip, but we've got the second, so Force of Will is the reveal. And I do see a Fluster Storm in Steven's hands as well. This is this seems like a pretty stacked hand against what's going on here.
Sure.
Yep.
Petal coming down, crack petal, therapy you.
Now, probably just naming Force of Will since we know about it, and it does.
I can definitely see a name on Fluster Storm.
On Fluster?
Well. Yeah. Force is pretty easy to fight through, but that's just going to take Force of Will, just like you said.
Oh, man. So, 2 Deathrite Shamans, 2 Gurmag Anglers, and his land is a volcanic island.
Sure. Also worth noting, no second land there for for that explosives. Yeah, Storm is definitely a little bit land light. So if you are able to stifle their first land, if it's a fetch land, that can have an effect. That looked like another therapy is the draw.
A therapy would be huge because I'm pretty sure he'd be able to go off here. Could he go off here?
He's still missing mana to get up to petition, I think. Oh, no, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. If it is therapy, should be a pretty clear thing.
Your storm would be
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep. Looks like we're good.
We're going for it.
Okay. Storm 4. Crack both. Yeah, Jorgensen, I did mention that you can stifle that trigger. I love it. And his other basic island is a different
That's a not a Cabal therapy, it's a Cabal ritual.
Cabal ritual. That's a different story, isn't it?
So we've got 5 mana, 5 storm. And here comes a petition, but there is a Flusterstorm available. Now, I think he's planning on using those LEDs to pay for this Flusterstorm. We're going to see that get paid. And we have just enough to cast Ad Nauseam after this. Only 8 life to work with. Oh, Tendrils. Tendrils is enough? Apparently Tendrils is enough.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
You needed to fluster the Cabal Rit, huh?
Yeah. I guess he needed to fluster the Cabal Rit. Wow. Well, interesting game.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting match.
All right, so Gordon takes that one 2-0, just taking it nice.
Fluster gave him lethal.
Nice and easy. All right, so these are not the correct players. let me finish. Let me fix this real quick.
Brian
so
versus Drew.
This is Drew, and we've got Brian playing his food chain deck, of course.
Alright, basic land, that's my favorite swamp right there. Basic land game on point for Drew.
The foil unstable swamp.
Unstable swamp.
They are very, very pretty.
Yep.
I think a lot of people didn't like the unstable lands because there was no border.
Mm-hmm.
It does make them a little
Drew's on Reanimator, by the way.
Yeah, black red Reanimator. It does make them a little easier to fetch for, but the black one just kind of makes up for it. I don't know. I think the swamp is just amazing.
Yeah. Super pretty swamp.
What was the rating you gave it?
What's that?
Out of 10?
Oh, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Like, as good as it comes.
That's my favorite swamp right there.
I'd give it a 9.
Real
high.
Yeah.
I like it. And then Brian, he has all foil unstables. I know that for a fact. And then he's got all expeditions. It's like he likes things to be like a lot of art and not a lot of words or something. I like the island fine. I like them a little. Like, I don't know. The foils look really good. They did such a good job with them. But I'd probably give the island like a 6.
So Drew's gonna have to find a answer to that Graph Digger's Cage before he does anything too drastic, or he needs a couple dark rituals to like get a Gristlebrand into play.
I have to look this one up. Oh, I use this swamp all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I use this swamp actually all the time, HC Fox. However, I don't use the Ice Age one. I use the Deck Masters one.
Mm-hmm.
I like it better because I am a personal fan of white border. I think the white border really, really complements some art and not others.
Sure.
And so, as long as you've got a near mint white border card, I think it's really pretty.
Yeah, gotta deal with Shaman too.
For sure.
And
Right.
Grave Titan will say, "Yeah, okay, let's play ball."
Now, Grave Titan's gonna look really good, but at least Brian has a little something to keep. Oh, he had a force.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get rid of that.
Yeah, sure will. Just hard casting Grave Titan.
Yeah,
He's not even playing Nick Fit,
right.
and he just hard casts the Grave Titan. What is going on? It's just what you have to do to get past.
You know,
the
it's kind
cage.
of funny. Grave Titan wouldn't have even been that stellar on the board. It would trade with a
Strix.
Strix and leave some zombies behind. And
And
Leovold would have
Leovold would've-
blocked
yeah.
like a lot of that damage too. And with Brian at 19, I don't think it would have had a ton of impact.
Not nearly as much as he would have liked. Now, I know that we're judging basics, but can I just say I really, really like Drew's FBBs?
Yeah,
They look really nice.
for sure.
Next turn, Massacre Worm. Brian has been known to Massacre Worm. However, I'm pretty sure this is not game one, and I don't know why you would want Massacre Worm against Reanimator.
No, I think they mean Drew
Massacre Worm? You think Drew has a Massacre Worm somewhere in his deck? He definitely could.
Massacre Worm would look okay here. Kill 3 things, deal you 6. Get rid of that death rate.
Jorgensen, I'm not sure I agree with that 100%, but I will say that I like them. You know, like I like them all. FBBs are just great looking, and they're not nearly as expensive. So you get a nice looking mana base for a cheaper cost. I'm all for that. You need some foil duels. Oh man.
The VMA art was pretty good, but I have to say I do like the text box, like the red, like the dual color like boxes.
Mhm.
That does it for me. I think
Yeah.
that's iconic. Like,
Yeah, 5k mana base instead of 20k. That is much cheaper.
it's very true. And
You can laugh about it, but it is.
like at some point, the duels really limit how many people can play Legacy. Like,
Yeah.
there's a finite supply of duels in the world.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, Andy Prime, I'm the same way. I've paid a good price for all my duels.
Yeah.
And if they went off the reserve list, I would not feel bad about the value that they would lose.
right.
But most people don't. Probably most people don't feel that way.
Yeah.
Still sorry. Hey, how's it going? Welcome.
All right, so I believe we have a Collective Brutality being cast, pitching a Animate Dead,
Animate Dead.
and Fluster Storm being paid for on that Collective Brutality. Card being drawn off of Leovold as well, and we're seeing if this resolves.
Jorgensen says China will make perfect counterfeits before WotC takes them off the list.
Yeah.
That is probably true. Yeah. Looks like
Yeah.
Brian takes the full round.
That's gonna be it. All right, so Food Chain gets it.
Pro Black Knight, you play soul lands because duels suck, man. City of Traders though, they're rising in price because of it.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't want duels tend, and they want to play Legacy. A lot of them look to the soul land strategy, and they're just gonna go up and up and up. And they're on the reserve list too, so. Yeah, Leon. That would be interesting if they were able to find a way. Right, old Berserk are still really high. Exactly,
sure.
exactly. Woot for Brian. You wish City wasn't so much. Yeah, well, I wish all the duels weren't so much.
Yeah.
Because I would like to play more Legacy decks than what I have.
For sure. KMC makes perfect fits. China makes counterfeits.
HC Fox, I swear everything you say should be put on a t-shirt. Or a throw pillow. Did you hear HC Fox that Brian's making Luxkill Deathrite shirts?
Nice.
Luxkill Deathrite.
Luxkill Deathrite.
Yeah, it's gonna have the Twitch link on the back.
I like it.
With our emblem, I think on the sleeve or on the back. I'm not sure where Brian's decided to put the emblem yet, but we will be getting Luxkill Deathrite shirts.
I think it's not necessarily obviously they drop in value if they got reprinted, but what you're looking at is something that's a little bit, in my mind, it's a little bit more important than the price. And yeah, they would definitely sell. Yes. But what you're looking at is kind of format longevity, not in terms of the next 5 years, but the next 10 years. Things are going to get really unplayable. If Magic keeps at its current pace or growing more than its current pace, then things are going to get really hard to do. And it'll be hard to see Legacy tournaments getting not only new players, but also keeping the players that it has, because it just prices people out of the format.
I'm going to bring Trace in.
You're bringing Trace in here?
He's not playing tonight.
What? Why? We have to deal with him or something?
Yeah, you guys have to deal with Trace.
Oh, man.
Dang it. Do we have a stool that we could sit?
Oh, yeah.
Grab a stool instead.
That's not going to fit back here.
Yeah, let me grab a stool. I'll be right back.
Awesome. My roommate Trace is going to hang out with us. So you were late, huh? You're not going to be able to play any Modern? Sad Panda.
You have to atone for your basic land choices.
Yeah, I told chat what basic lands you were going to use for your Death and Taxes list.
Yeah.
I don't know, chat. What is wrong with using unstable lands for your D&T list? Let's see what they say.
You tell us.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think 5 years, I was just giving really conservative estimates, but you're going to see a lot of big problems come up with the banned and reserve list in the next little bit. It's just kind of reaching that point.
I mean, have you guys seen what's happened to a couple other cards on the reserve list recently? Yeah. Recently, have you seen Chains of Mephistopheles? Have you seen? Oh, I want to say, was it Nethervoid? Was that the one? Can you slip back here?
Yeah, go right in the middle. There you go.
I wonder if I can move this around a little bit. Move the tip jar to somewhere else. Move stuff around for a minute so I can put TRZ on there.
I mean, you didn't have to put my name on there. People know who I am.
People know who you are. Everyone knows who Trace is.
The one, the only.
Yeah. Another Void has gone up. Chains is up over $600 now. And that's the thing is all these cards that are on the reserve list, there's not very many reasons for them to go down, and there
Right.
are a lot of reasons to go up.
Well, and like the reserve list made a decent amount of sense for the time, but things have changed so much in the game in the past 20 years. Like, you know,
It's like the word tradition, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't really cling to it forever.
right. And they've already proven that they're okay bending it when it meets their needs, so there's no reason why they shouldn't continue to do so.
Right.
Like, they've already skirted around it, like things like Imperial Recruiter and stuff like that. So these portal cards, like, you know, they've done enough. I think if you put like something like the new art on it, or you know, even if you had like, I don't know, it's hard to say that you could do functional reprints because then everything would just play 8, right? Like if you did like snow covered duels, everyone would just play 8, and that's not where you want them to go with it.
Yeah.
Like
This is why I've heard a lot of people say that like you do like a snow covered duel and put legendary on it. Like
yeah, but then it still punishes people for not having the
Mhm.
access to the cards that are there.
you know, just something like that though.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way, right?
Yeah.
Why would you play 8? There are many decks
You-
that are 2-color that would love to have 8 dual lands.
Yeah.
Like
Even if you don't play 8, just having access to the ability to play 8 changes the way you deck build.
oh yeah,
Like-
it changes the way you deck build. It could change the format.
Yeah.
Maybe not drastically, but it could.
Snow super type overpowered.
Yeah, way too good. Way too good.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, think about if you could play Scrying Sheets in your Legacy deck on top of your mana base. Like,
I would love that.
Yeah, exactly. Ambition. There's not a lot of them,
yeah,
but there could be, right? Like the 2-color decks don't typically need tons, but
well, and then you also have the issue if you're printing like those duels, you're gonna have those be modern legal as well, unless you put them into like a commander set or something
Yep.
like that. And
then there won't be a lot of them going out there because
Right.
it's a niche set,
yeah,
and then their price is still going to be insane.
right, yeah.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it'd be hard to say for sure, but I'm not saying that they would necessarily play 8, but I think that they would definitely make some different land choices because of it. And it's quite possible that they could play more than 4.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, ND Prime, we don't really know the answer.
Yeah.
We're just throwing ideas out there, right?
the other thing as well that is problematic with it is right now some decks do want to have multiple of the same type of land in play. Like they want multiple underground seas or multiple volcanic islands or multiple tropical islands in play at the same time. If they're legendary, you can't do that.
Right. You would still need some amount of duels.
Yeah.
But like if you got like one of each of the legendary
Right,
ones, then you're
it
never
would
going to run
definitely
into
go
the
down,
problem,
Yeah.
and it would make it easier for people to afford a mana base.
For sure.
That's the point.
But
right?
again, that's only short term.
It is short term.
Those prices still go up as more and more people join into the format and more
Yes.
people try to get in.
Mhm.
Like,
And that's
so-
that's what's happened with Modern Masters like crazy.
Right. Yeah.
People keep jumping into Modern, and
Yeah.
at first the Goyfs didn't budge. And
Yeah.
have you seen Cavern of Souls recently?
No, it's,
They're like
it's
$80.
huge, yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
$80. You know,
Okay.
it needs another well, it needs to be reprinted as not a mythic.
Yeah.
You'd think Wizards has learned by now, but they really just kind of haven't. %, 50%? I don't know, but you're absolutely right, Arjorg. Like, once something like that gets printed and they say that they're
Yeah.
never going to make it more ever, then the number can only go down.
Yeah, for sure.
Accidents happen,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
especially when they were first printed, like I'm sure
Oh
that
yeah, like
when they were
nobody
dirt
knew.
cheap,
Like,
yeah,
gosh, like
people probably wrote on them for proxies.
back in the day, I actually have a story about that.
Okay.
So nothing like not on like a duel or anything like that, but back when like Life from the Loam and like stuff like that was around, my friend actually proxied a giant solifuge on top of a Life from the Loam.
No.
We found it years later.
Giant Solifuge is better. Shroud is
Giant
just broken.
Solifuge, much better at the time than Life from the Loam. Now, not so much. But yeah.
Yeah, Wizards
yeah.
might be doing it as a money grab. Who knows? Like we'll see when it happens, right? Or if it never happens, then whatever. You threw your duels and trades for Shivan Dragons, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting.
We messed up Masters, featuring the reserved list dual lands.
I would like that announcement.
Yeah.
April Fool's is coming right up. We'll see it. At the bottom of the page, it's going to be like, just clarifying, this is a complete joke. Have a happy April Fool's.
Sell.
Sell.
All right, looks like we're getting pairings up for the new round, so
Awesome.
it should be pretty soon.
Awesome.
All right,
Get
Tris.
things up for...
We've been talking about basic land art. Favorite basic land arts. What are your favorite basic land arts?
Some of mine like come from very specific sets, so it's hard to like pinpoint out. Like my favorite aren't like the Guru lands or like.
Each individual. Like, so we'll just start. What's your favorite planes?
My favorite planes is the one from the core set. It like shows all the wheat in the sun. It shows the horizon. It's hard to describe.
Is that the one with the purple and the pink in the sky?
No, it's like it's kind of orange brown.
Seventh ed, maybe.
No, it's newer. It's one of the
Newer.
M10. Past that, it's one of those.
Okay.
I think it's like M12 or something.
I think he might be talking about the same one that that Jorgensen brought up.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think it's a different
I think
one.
it's different.
But...
Okay.
My favorite swamp is the one from Shards, where it has like the light of the moon and then inversed like right below it.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Everyone knows that one. And then I really do love the islands and forests from Lorwyn and Ixalan because they're just vibrant.
Yeah, we talked about the Lorwyn forest you showed on stream.
Yeah, I also mentioned how I really liked the Ixalan. Like some of the Ixalan lands, they are bright and they're very pretty that way.
Definitely.
So Trace is thinking of this swamp 100%. Yeah?
Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
The plains. If you search M10 plains, it might come up.
That's a solid swamp.
It's really cool looking. That's for sure. I don't particularly have a love for super symmetrical things, so like I understand why people would like this, but
doesn't do it for you.
No. Wait, M10 planes, is that what you said?
M10.
Do you know it was M10?
I think it was reprinted in all those. Yep.
This one?
Third art. Yeah, that one.
So this one right here.
Yeah.
That art.
That's my favorite art on planes.
John Avon.
It's very pretty. Yep. M10, 11, 13, and 14.
M12 missed out.
Yeah, that's a great looking one.
I really do like the islands from Meriden.
The island, yeah. Okay.
With all the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Kamigawa had some good island art too.
It's true.
Oh, I didn't transition. There we go.
Yeah, solid.
I like it. I still don't know what my... Yeah, it is a good one.
Oh, you can't see the cards you're looking at.
I know, I showed him.
Oh,
I just went back. I don't know what my favorite planes is. It might be that Lorwyn one. Because they had, this one right here.
Yeah.
And this, like, I don't know, it's the whole combined thing. I don't know, just like this
That's just
art
the one
piece
we showed
period.
before. Yeah,
I would be really happy to get like a print of this.
that'd be cool, like an artist print. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if I can just look up like yeah, see like it shows.
Oh,
Yeah, like these are
Show chat.
clearly my there.
Oh,
Yeah, I have it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, clearly one of my favorites. And then oh yeah, see like people have done like altars.
huh.
That planes is amazing. Yeah. Are you talking about this one? The Lorwyn one? Or
Johnny.
What?
I think that's Alex. Odyssey Lands?
Odyssey
I
has
love
some
the
good
Odyssey
ones,
Lands.
for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I still
get-
think as far as that old border goes, I really think that Invasion has some of the best though.
Get behind some Odyssey ones. Invasion overall, I think, as a set of lands, has some really strong contention
Yes.
for like best overall.
I think
Like,
so. Yeah, Liana dislikes this one as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have a foil of each of these. They're like my go-to, and then I have a foil of each of these ones as well.
Oh, and I do have a favorite artist when it comes to basic lands.
Who's your favorite artist?
Verani Kaminat.
I don't know if I could recognize any of those.
I think she did expeditions too. She did a set of the full art Zendikar once.
Oh, okay.
She did the Arch Mountain.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, those are really cool. This one's a mountain right here for Lorwyn. This one's a swamp. I really like those.
7th Ed Basics. We were looking at 7th Ed Basics in foil today. And
Yeah,
they're awesome.
There's a guy who collects just like all old border basics in our store, and he was sharing those with me and Matt today. We saw many 7th Ed, tons of Odyssey, tons of Invasion, tons of Onslaught. They were just gorgeous.
Oh yeah, great.
And Urza Saga. Yeah. Oh no, he didn't show us any Urza Saga ones. I don't think I saw any.
No, there are some masks in there, but
Masks, yeah.
no Urzas.
I didn't see any Urzas. Urza Saga lands are gorgeous. But yeah, 7th Ed, some of those are the best.
And in that black border and the foil. Ooh.
See, beta lands are riot. We've already established that we feel like they are pretty boring.
Is it
Kind
one
of
the
overrated
swamps
in my
just
opinion.
like
Very,
a
I think
Yeah.
they're very overrated. They're what?
Is it one of the swamps from Beta just like a stick sticking out
Yep.
of it?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
a white background.
Yeah.
It's talent art right there.
Hey, guys, look, I drew a stick. I'll give you $5 for that. Okay. I'll take
Okay.
it.
I'll take it. 96 arena lands. Yes, they are very pretty. In fact, the guy that we were talking to, Les, I'm not sure if you met Les when you were here, Jorgensen, but
You've
he
certainly
showed us.
seen him play on stream.
Yes, you've seen him play on stream. He's going to be on the gate tonight. I don't know if we'll see him though. Yes, exactly. Beta lands have a nostalgia factor. That's about.
That's definitely nostalgia.
But that's all that holds
Like-
holds them though.
Yeah, in terms of sheer artistic value, not like nostalgic value or anything like
Right.
that. Like
You kids wouldn't understand. No, I do understand. I absolutely understand.
Jorgensen, I'm pretty sure I'm older than you.
You kids.
I'd be close. Race.
So if that's your favorite planes, then why not get like a bunch of foils of those for your D&T?
Consider it.
Here, let's see what's going on.
Did you combo nicely with the unstable?
White border lands can be pretty nice in a deck, I think. Like it's nice to have that little extra pop to show you like what's your lands when you're like
Yes.
trying to find off of a shuffle and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Or like at a glance looking at an opening hand and being like, okay, like I can keep
Without like shuffling your cards.
Right,
so
yeah.
Showing your opponent how many lands you have.
hmm
You like most Onslaught basics. I actually have a foil of each Onslaught basic. There's a couple that I like love, and there's a couple where I'm like, yeah, they're fine. But they are very pretty as well. It's just that old border nostalgia, I guess. They really make the art pop in a way that makes them look good. I don't think the new border really helps out with that too much.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how to describe what I'm saying, or like the reasons why, but
yeah,
I know what I like.
White border travel, I like that.
White border to tilt people. Do people really get tilted by white border?
No.
I think that's kind of a myth. Like,
I run white borders in a lot of my decks because I like them.
yeah.
I actually try to avoid white borders if I can.
Look at that, Trace. You need 10. They're only $2.50.
For $5.
$2.50 for this foil.
That might actually just be cheaper than unstable basics.
That's like actually what just a normal unstable basic is.
Yeah.
And you'd like it a lot more.
There you go.
That I could respect.
I think nostalgia for me is like pretty heavy in the N10 and M15.
Sure. Yeah.
I miss being Slayer Angel.
Let me see if I can find
Slayer.
a lot of decks that like. So the decks that I use. So So a lot of my basics I have for my cube, right? They're like set aside, so I don't use them in decks nearly as much. But my go-to. Let me see if I can find it. It's like some weird dual deck. So, but I use white border lands usually. These are all weird dual decks. Just gonna Google it. These are not what I'm looking for. Using white on a card is not tournament legal.
Probably fine for an FNM because
it's probably fine until you get up to competitive.
White out's a
like
bit thicker than
paint.
Yeah,
Well, people play with painted cards all the time.
it's true. Yeah, I think it'd probably depend on like
If you have double sleeve, I doubt you could. I doubt you could tell.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what we haven't mentioned? The judge full art lands.
Those are quite good.
I've never seen those.
I think those are quite good. I like all of those, to be honest.
I like
the
them
full
all.
set.
Yeah, let's pull these up real quick because I want to show off these.
You never will.
And seeing them in person, like they look much better in person, I think, than they do like online.
They're so pretty, and they're expensive.
Yeah,
like they're real pricey. I'd really like one of each. For my cube,
pretty solid. Like all of those are pretty solid. I do like the border as well, how it kind of bows out a little bit, but.
Is it panoramic?
No.
It almost is panoramic. I guess not.
I guess the horizon's kind of similar on them, huh? But no.
Yeah, those are pretty solid.
Well, it looks like that it was built like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but not.
You just can't tell.
Yeah. They're real pretty. Trace Nielsen, though, can we just say, it's almost like they know how to. Oh, did I not transition? There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm not transitioning like I should. There we go. That's what I was talking about.
Definitely solid.
You saw somebody take off the black border of an FBB scrubland? What? Yeah, Caleb D got Guru Basics white border. They're they're so good looking. They're really good looking. You love the panorama arts. If they were in non-foil, they look good in foil though. I mean, I know that you're a player who doesn't particularly like foils, but even then, they look nice. Like I was showing off this one. Really good looking.
Yeah, and they look really solid in person too.
You were cringing the whole time, and he was loving it. Why would you do that to an FBB though? Like what? Like you can actually buy just foreign white borders. Like you can buy them. They're a thing that you can have. They're actually like I believe they're cheaper than English duels.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Some unfortunate. That's what you told them? You're like, you can just... What are you doing? I actually think I would have been, like, really upset by it.
You know how Ultimate Guard has the sleeves? You slip them on and they create the black border?
Fortifies, yeah.
They just made, like, white ones.
They do have white ones.
Oh, really?
They exist, yeah.
Italian moat greater
They do not
than
look
all
good.
other moats.
Okay. I really do like foreign cards if they like match what the card is, like Chinese USA.
Yeah.
Or Japanese USA. I can has culture.
It reminds me of Brian always says that if you're going to get an Inquisition of Kozilek, you need to get it in Spanish because of the Spanish Inquisition.
Yep. No one ever expects it.
Nobody ever expects the Spanish.
I really want a Spanish Mana Vault.
Mana Vault? Why is that?
You can't untap it. It just
that's right.
No, you can't tap it for mana. It's just one mana for
the misprints.
Pay for to untap
misprint.
it.
Yeah.
Or you take one.
Oh, that's great. Some of the misprints are just silly.
There was a common from a core set. Disentomb or something like that. 1 black, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. But, like the Spanish version just had it reanimate.
Like it just puts it into play.
1 black mana reanimate. No downside.
No downside. Yeah. Balls of Steel, exactly. Like most people like that. There's like more color in the text box, right? Yeah. And I want no. Actually, I think the whole card is just a little more of a vibrant. Yeah. They look really good.
Different ink set. Yeah.
Yep, they're very pretty. I wish I could get them. People keep telling Calvin and Brian, two of the players here who have foiled out legacy decks. People are like, "Why do you have revised duels? like you have a foiled out legacy deck and you have revised duels.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna put that kind of money into it, like at least do it right."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Most people don't notice.
Are you kidding? We stream their decks.
Well, yeah.
Our chat just freaks out every time.
Yeah. Every single time.
Every time.
You just like take their computer, throw it out the window. It's like, I'm not done with this.
Well, why do you think we lost so many viewers?
Right? Certainly not basic land choices.
And they resemble the 4th ed. You
Prefer
prefer
the
the
faded.
faded look.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it kind of depends what kind of overall vibe you're going for, but
yeah.
I can dig it.
I see so many people with these legacy decks that it's very clear that they just have a style that they're trying to hit.
Yeah.
And then I think about my my legacy deck, and I like every single card in the entire deck has different art. Even though there are like tons of play sets. I like mismatching everything. Every time I say this, there's always at least one person in chat who's like, "Oh, I hate you." And I was like, "Oh, well, you don't have to play against me, so no worries."
So I was looking through my binder the other day, and I realized every single one of my Blood Moons is from a different set.
That's sweet.
One from the dark. Then you've got. Did you have an M25 one? Not yet?
No.
So Modern Masters 1.
Yeah.
Modern Masters 2017. Is there a printing I'm missing? Oh, and it's original printing. Or where it got printed whiteboard.
There we go. Oh, I hate you.
Yeah.
Like 7th.
Told you.
Yeah.
7th ed? Is that where it was? 7th or 8th?
Before that.
There was an 8th ed one, wasn't there?
Something
Was it
like
8th
that.
and 9th?
Yeah, I can't
I mean, there's a reason it's a modern, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Chronicles. That's right.
Kind of.
Chronicles. It looks almost the same though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The dark's not white border, is it? I don't think the dark is.
Is it? It might be.
Maybe.
I'm so glad we found the one person in chat who does. They always speak up too.
Found them.
Thank you for speaking up.
The dark
Next
black
slide.
border. Yeah.
Yeah. Is Chronicles white though? Isn't Chronicles white border?
Think so.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Your blood moons are all the dark. So dark. We get set up for round 3. We've been in time for a while. You were kidding? All right, chat. We need to find at least one of you.
One of you is not being honest with yourselves.
Oh, hold on. Is our camera frozen?
Uh-oh.
No wonder. I was gonna say it should have
Wonder
started
what
by now.
happened to our camera.
Let me see if I can get this fixed for you guys.
Stand by. We actually have more legacy action coming your way. It's just our cameras have not updated. And so we had no idea that people sat down for the round.
They got frozen somehow.
Wow.
I'm upset by this. Well, let's just jump in.
All right. Well,
Oh, that makes me so mad.
we've got Storm in the process of going off at the moment, is what it looks like.
No. I see some.
And-
right?
Yeah.
Is this Brian? Yeah, this is Brian.
Yeah, I think we've got Food Chain versus Storm.
Sorry about that, guys. That is super obnoxious. We were like trying to keep conversation going, and meanwhile, everything just got messed up.
That game is over.
Do you want me to go out and check and see your one? Because it's very unclear.
We'll figure. We
we'll
can
we'll,
usually
we'll
figure it out.
figure it out.
Okay. Well, I can see that one guy's at 1, so maybe.
We'll see by who goes first.
Lotus Storm
Yeah, it's
counter.
true.
Yep.
Once the storm counters are out. Oh my goodness, this one's. If I can just fix it right here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Huh.
So Painter versus Red Storm.
He's on
Mono Red Storm.
No, this is Big
No?
Red.
Oh, Big Red.
Well, like Red
Oh,
Prison.
there's
or
Rabble
like
Master.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
Rabble Master and a Simian Spirit Guide in play.
Big Red.
It's Stompy.
Yeah.
Red,
Dragon Stomp.
Red Stompy.
This is Legacy Timmy Jim 19.
Always Legacy. Here at Paragon City Games.
Okay, you're spelling your name wrong.
You're spelling your name wrong. I know how to spell my name wrong, and it is that.
Their game is also over. I have to assume that Max won that based on what was on the
Okay.
board.
Well, these guys are sideboarding, so we'll jump back over and watch Gordon on. This is Gordon again on Storm. Ant of the Ant variety,
Sad times.
and then we've got Brian on Food Chain.
Yeah, non-interactive. He uses the Lotus for Storm Count. He uses the other cards for the mana of their color. So,
Yep.
Yogg Will as black, Time Twister as blue, Wheel of Fortune as red.
Exactly, Timmy. He is kind
And
of a show off.
They are just a show off. And they are all real cards.
Two power 9 cards.
Yeah.
Wheel of Fortune, which isn't even all that different from Time Twister, and by that I mean they're actually just the same card with a different mana symbol.
Yeah.
And Yogg Will. Oh, Yogg Will. Meh,
meh.
white
Both of
border.
those again.
I'm not impressed. What a scrub. Yeah.
Might as well be worth nothing.
How do you even show off with something like that?
Right.
Non-interactive.
All right, maybe we're catching game 3, maybe we're catching game 2, I'm not sure.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we're like a full 15 to 20 minutes into our round.
Yep.
Ah, They're all real. Yes.
Yep, all real.
He also, Gordon also won our Legacy Challenge event a
Yeah.
little while back, so he has a sweet deck box from Paragon City.
He actually
he did
came in and showed that deck box off.
Yeah,
a
we have
little
had him
bit
on
ago,
camera.
right before the 1K.
Right. Yeah, he got a real pretty deck box from it, and he took it down with Storm.
Yeah.
Just stormed the people.
All right, so leading off with the Cataxian Probe here, we get to see Brian's hand, which contains Deathrite Shaman, Flusterstorm, Brainstorm, Thoughtseize, and a couple Lance, and a second Flusterstorm.
So it looks like Brian got the last game at least since Gordon's went first, right?
Yeah, here comes a Therapy, and that quickly gets rid of 2 Flusterstorms, and you gotta feel pretty good if you're Gordon getting 2 Flusterstorms.
2 Flusters?
Yeah.
Jorgensen. White bordered power. That's like bragging about your mint condition 86 Toyota Tercel. I would.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, have you seen the gas mileage that it gets?
Worth bragging about.
Alright, so pedal into Brainstorm.
So wait a second. What's going on with Gordon's basic swamp? He had P3K islands. What the heck is this swamp?
I don't know. This
like
basic land game is kind of lacking.
I feel like with his islands,
Yeah.
with his islands, I was giving him like an 8, out of 10, and then I see this swamp and I'm like, okay, now what's going on?
Yeah.
The air down the swamp does feel kind of tendrils-y.
You're siding with Gordon?
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Just playing devil's advocate. Yeah, foil mass brainstorm. Yeah, Brian's got all the pretty things. He's got expedition duels, or fetches, I mean, and then he's got foil unstable lands, Markinian mass brainstorms.
Pedal go.
And his Deathrite Shaman that's in play is foil and altered.
Yep.
It is very pretty in person. It doesn't quite do it justice. Let's seeing it from here.
So Thoughtseize gets Flusterstormed, it looks like.
Huh.
Oh no, Thoughtseize is being paid for.
Huh.
Take Infernal Tutor, and now Gordon's just left with a Ponder. That's it.
Yeah.
Good for Brian. Different shaman.
It is definitely good for Brian. However, Brian doesn't have a very good clock at the moment.
Ooh, Surgical.
Okay. Yeah, he'll drop to 15.
Surgical on draw step.
I was gonna say, what kind of payoff is the Storm deck hoping for?
Storms probably. I mean, before this Surgical happened, I think Storm was kind of trying to look for
An Infernal Tutor.
either an Infernal Tutor or trying to get up to
Ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum.
Right.
Yeah. With the additional out of maybe getting to a Past in Flames, but I don't even know if Gordon runs Past in Flames. Probably not. Not an ant.
Your modern deck is worth more than your check pile deck. Whoa.
Wow. Alright, so going pondering. Looking for some good ones. He sees Brainstorm and a couple others. Looks
Dark
like
Ritual and
Cabal Therapy. And he's going to
cast
Cabal Therapy. That's going to get forced. No, that's going to get a Brainstorm and Reveal Force. It's kind of awkward the way that Brian did that.
yeah, definitely.
All right, so there's a Dark Petition in the top 3.
That's pretty good.
Like,
but he still doesn't have doesn't have the land to get there. Dark Ritual doesn't get him there either. Is there 2?
He needs another way to get another mana.
And he still needs to fight through this Force of Will as well.
I think it's 2 Dark Rits go back on top.
If it's 2 Dark Rits, then he might be able to get there, but it's still going to take a little bit of time because Gordon doesn't have the cards in hand to get things going. Therapy gets exiled by Deathrite.
Here's line number 3 for Brian.
Brian 1 mana away from being able to hard cast that Force of Will.
Because I figured it out. Balls of Steel's modern deck is probably Battle of Wits.
Figured it out.
Battle of Wits.
Do you have foil Battle of Wits? That would definitely be worth way more than a check pile deck.
Okay, so Gordon starts out with the probe. He sees that there's land in hand, but no blue card for that Force of Will.
Oh.
And we're going to try to go off here. So, Dark Ritual. Storm count up to 2.
Ah, it's foiled Jund. Yep. Yep, that is definitely more expensive.
3 black in pool. Cabal Ritual. Storm count up to 3. Up to 6 mana in pool. And Dark Petition.
Down to 1 mana.
Down to 1. Storm 3. Count up to 4.
So
4 in pool. Grabs. I have to assume you go for ad nauseam here.
He doesn't have. Oh, he does have enough mana for.
He does.
Yeah.
Yep. Just barely.
Modern Jund.
Gonna have to hope. He's already used 2 petals, so he's gonna have to kind of hope to get a little bit lucky here. I think to get stuff to go off. Has he played a land yet this turn? I don't know.
He has not.
So probably a decent amount of outs to going off here.
He's got 12 life to work with. We'll see what he can find.
12 life is kind of medium here. Not the worst, not the best. We'll see how the draws are for him. All right, 1 life. 0, 4. Oof. 1, 1, 0.
There's the pedal.
1. All right, down to 4 life. Thinking if he can go off. I think what he's trying to think of is I think he needs another ritual, but then he's able to brainstorm, put back tendrils on top, cast probe, float mana off of LED, and cast tendrils. But he needs 1 more ritual. Down to 3. And now he's at a point where if he gets another ritual, he doesn't have the life in order to pay for Gitaxian Probe. So now he's kind of in a tight spot. All right, second loaded, or excuse me, second LED, I believe actually does it. That's enough to get there.
Yep.
So cast 2 LEDs, cast Petal, use Petal to brainstorm back the tendrils to the top, crack LEDs in response to probe, and cast tendrils for the win. So I believe this is a win for Gordon.
Does look that way.
All the way down to 1 life. Wow, if Deathright's active,
it is.
Then I think Brian gets it.
Yeah, he can't pay the life for Gitaxian Probe.
He's got to go for it and just hope that Brian scoops here. Brian looking at the graveyard. Do you have an instant or sorcery? I think, was he able to, did he do it? How was he able to, he did it without probing. So he must have played a land.
Played a land. He
gotcha.
played a land.
He pondered instead of probing. I forgot he had the land drop.
Yeah.
So he stays at 3, just barely out of Deathrite range.
Yep.
And is able to get there, which, awesome.
Wow.
What a game.
Well, looks like they're shuffling back up for a game 3, so we'll get to see that.
I love Storm.
And it looks like these guys are done. So Painter and Big Red done super fast.
Yeah.
What Blood Moon deck It's good. You got a Blood Moon in game 1 and just be like, yeah.
15 minutes left in round, super fast.
Yeah. So sorry, we did get new life trackers since the last time you were here. They work really well for the stream, but our players don't like them very much. They're kind of a pain. We need to get something digital.
Non-interactive. He went off with 3 in hand after being surgical for Infernal Tutor.
Yeah, Storm is amazing. Yeah. And it takes a person like Gordon to know that he can take a line like that and win.
Mm-hmm.
That was very, very beautifully played.
And dealt with the curveball of hitting the tendrils off of the Adnos, which made his life total really hard to work with.
What is this? Paul says that Painter got him with a turn 1 Blood Moon.
Whoa.
Got him.
Yeah.
Paul the Legend Berman.
Wow.
Lost to Painter with Shocklands. Alright, starting things off, we've got a Misty Rainforest from Brian. Gordon's going to throw down a Gitaxian Probe. We're going to get to take a look at Brian's hand here. We've got a Miss Hollow Griffin. He likes it. Oh, foily. This is Verdant Catacombs, Flusterstorm, a Surgical Extraction. Not sure what that black card is. And then we've got a Walking Ballista. So most of the combo assembled, just looking for a food chain. But Brian's deck is definitely the slower combo deck.
Lots of interaction there too.
Was it surgical?
Surgical is in there, but the other black card is
it's an engineered plague.
Yeah.
For the Gobos, yep.
Yep.
That is what that's doing there.
Definitely. And yep, we see a therapy get Flusterstormed.
Brian's going, I need to keep my things. Need to keep my things.
I like these pieces of interaction. Please don't take them.
Hey Brian, you should shuffle one more time. Just in case.
Can't say I'm learning like ways to play Storm. This is great. I like the lands above. I kind of like that, yeah. Although in Modern you gotta have the creature, so...
Oh, you have the one creature?
I was thinking maybe just playing the creature with the lands.
With the lands?
Because that's all it is. They never attack.
It's like a Dryad Arbor?
Yeah.
Ay.
Brings up a whole other topic for conversation. Here's Deathrite Shaman. Seems like a pretty good draw for Brian there.
Sure. Yeah, Deathrite's a pretty good card to see here. We're going to see Brainstorm on Gordon's side. Draws our LED, Infernal Tutor LED. Wow. And wow.
Well, that was good.
So
it's gonna throw a Flusterstorm and something else back on top there.
Thinks about keeping that, puts the Infernal on top.
Okay.
Yeah. So passes the turn back.
Gordon should have shuffled, not cut. I totally reps. I agree. He's like, whoa, Brad, I don't think you've shuffled enough. Hold on.
All right, so let's see. I think Gordon should be able to go off here.
I think so.
So Brainstorm, start things off. And
Abrupt Decay, a Ritual, and what was that third card? Preordain?
Yeah. Just gonna keep floating that Infernal Tutor on the top. Preordain. And put that Infernal Tutor to hand, put the other to the bottom, pass the turn.
Probably taking... Oh, Gitaxian Probe is the choice. Alright.
Therapy Flashback, not really a problem until Empty the Warrens, but that's really not too much of an issue right now. Also, he's also got that Surgical if anything goes super wrong. And casters, I guess.
And
What
casters.
do you mean, I guess?
How's it going, Bryce? How's your Grixis Delvering?
All right, 2 LEDs coming down. Gordon thinking a little bit. Looks like he's gonna pass the turn back. And kind of interesting. I guess he's trying to think about maybe the surgical really messes him up more than I think it does, but this seems really kind of safe. Like really kind of scared when you know all but one card in hand. I think I probably would have gone for it, but I'm not Gordon. Gordon has a lot more reps with this deck than I do. I'm sure there's something I'm missing.
I didn't know Bryce liked land so much.
It was neat.
Bryce is particularly fond of the interaction with Gamble and Light from the Womp.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good one. Pretty strong.
So strong.
Struck.
Well, does he have a food chain? Does he have a food
It
chain?
looks like that's
Okay.
Leovold. Okay.
All right. Yeah, Leovold. Leovold works.
Leovold does not stop Tutor or Adnos.
No. Well, generally a good card against Storm, especially if you have the time
Sure.
to get it into play.
Okay, so we're gonna go off this turn. Double Petal in hand, Infernal Tutor, Cabal Ritual, which I think we're gonna get things started off with. Oh, goes Petal, 1 Storm. Petal, 2 Storm. Crack both petals. It should be pretty well protected with that Flusterstorm too
Does it
here.
get all of the triggers or just the first one? Because I think only the first one like targets.
For
Not sure about that one.
for
Leovold against tendrils.
he'll get all, I believe.
Huh. Interesting. Gives you a chance to like find Flusterstorm before you die.
Gordon does have Flusterstorm backup, so
Oh, okay.
and not a ton to pay for with only 2 Death Rights in play. Alright, Storm counts 3. 3 black, 1 blue.
Thinking this one through, I feel like he can go off, but
Well, here's the thing. If he cracks the LEDs, then he can't hold up Flusterstorm. So 2 Flusterstorms hit the bin. Infernal Tutor cast. Ups the mana count by a lot. Ups the storm count. Storm counts at 4.
everything's at 4.
4, 4, 4.
He's trying to decide, do we surgical now? He decided no.
Yeah.
Do your worst. So Gordon needs to get to Storm 8 before he casts the tendrils, so Storm 9 total.
Should be pretty
And
easy to
knocking.
do with Ad Naz. He gets
so.
Ad Naz. It is going to be kind of hard. He's got to get basically another Infernal Tutor, I believe, to draw or naturally draw into tendrils.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to draw another way.
Bryce says, hey everybody, you too can subscribe with Amazon Prime for free. Thank you so much, Bryce. Appreciate the subscription. Letting everybody know how
Thanks.
easy it is to sub.
Thanks, Bryce, for giving us your free subscription.
A free way to support the stream.
Yeah,
Incredible.
we appreciate it.
Alright. I cast my ad nauseam.
This one.
He's like, where do I put it? On top of the die.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. So I think if you're Brian, it's pretty tempting to go for the surgical on Infernal right now.
So sorry subscribes and says I'd rather subscribe with my hard-earned dineros.
Aw,
Thank you so much,
we
Soul
appreciate it. What a hero.
Oh yeah, what a hero. So many heroes in our midst.
nice to do it.
Using your hard-earned dineros, we accept that too.
Now, another thing that Brian could try to do, he could try to surgical the LEDs, and that might limit the ability to have the Infernal Tutors do anything.
Right.
As well as kind of limit Gordon's mana after this.
Whoa. Bryce is impressed?
What?
Bryce is impressed by Soul Sorry sub.
Wow.
He's not impressed by very many of our followers.
No, not very impressed at all.
Or any of our followers for that matter. But I only know that because there's a direct quote about that.
In response to the first spell cast, you could do that.
Keep in mind though, casting this surgical is going to add to Storm. Not only that, but he's gonna have. Oh, I guess he doesn't have to pay 2 life, huh? He can use the death, right?
Yeah, Storm's at 5 already.
Can we get a slow play warning? Seriously, Brian's just terrible.
I mean, this is the only chance he gets to play against the Storm deck, so.
Yard shuffling.
Easy Fox just freaks out. Are you shuffling the yard? Graveyard order! Graveyard order!
Graveyard order.
I mean, gotta
This
play
is
to
Legacy. You have Graveyard order.
Those Bosium strips.
Gordon.
If only Ad Nauseam said draw cards. Then Brian
That'd
would
be
probably
wild.
then he'd feel a lot better about this.
Say, yep, resolves.
They have 7 minutes to finish
7.
this.
Okay.
Alright, let me add 4 minutes to my count then.
We're mid combo. We're trying to resolve an ad nauseum, and Brian's kind of thinking it through. Looks like we're going to get surgical cast on the LEDs in response to ad nauseum.
Yeah, he does. He does go.
Okay.
He does go down to 16, and it does add to Gordon's storm count.
So that does kind of cut off Infernal Tutor, barring some pretty weird draw stuff. It does not shut off Gordon from being able to do things like play a pedal into Dark Writ and that sort of stuff.
Take 1 minute. Oh, sorry. Here, we good? We good now? The lion's eyes have been gouged out.
No more eyes in those lions.
No.
Surgically.
At least it was
gouged.
surgically.
No.
Surgically gouged.
Again. Scalpel.
Okay. So
Scalpel.
flips 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. There's pedal, 2 pedals. Dark Ritual, 7 damage. Ooh, and that is a Dark Petition
Down to
for
2.
another 5 damage. But that should be just about enough to get him to where he needs to be.
He's got 5 mana for the Dark Petition now, so that
Sure.
should be
And
enough.
unfortunately, going down to 2 is enough to get Deathrite into range, and Gordon's loses to that Deathrite activation.
That does it.
That's the
So,
thing I like.
Now, he's saying, well, let's see what I would have drawn off of Leopold on the triggers for Tendrils.
Yeah, if he hadn't hit the 5, he would have been okay.
Yeah.
That's what I like about hitting the lines or diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you need a lot more mana to go off without LEDs.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I
you
think
need to get those high cards like the Dark Petition or those other tutors.
it's kind of a dangerous thing, but like, I don't know.
No, I mean that's the out that Brian had.
I think Gordon played it the way that he should have played it. I think that Brian had a couple of different opportunities. I'm not sure which one is the better line there to take. It's definitely possible that he could try and like surgical in response to the first card played, but if that first card played is an LED, then like I don't know, it opens up a lot of things.
Yeah, it sure does. Awesome. We should be pretty close to the next round. I'm gonna try to pay attention.
Hopefully
and see if
the cameras won't freeze again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss we actually got most of their round, so I'm not too upset about it. But we did miss a good chunk of game one
for sure. I think in the end we just learned that basic lands matter, and Brian had the stronger basic land game and won.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. Brian gets like a solid 7 total with his basic lands, and I think Gordon gets like a 6.5. So
yeah, so
it showed. It was close.
Match,
it was close.
Yeah. 11 pieces of Storm Hate. Yeah, it pretty tough.
Yeah, it
hard
is
to
a lot.
Yeah, hard to go through.
Brian has mentioned that one of his hardest matchups is Storm. A lot of these Storm Hate cards also catch a lot of other decks.
Yeah.
Fluster is important in the matchups where you want to take Force of Will out. Cage is good against a lot of things.
Surgical as well.
No, Plague's not. Yeah, Surgical hits pretty well. But yeah, Plague isn't considered hate. You just bring it in because if they do go goblins, you need something in your deck
you have it there as splash for like Monastery Mentor and stuff like that anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. You've got cards to take out, so might as well bring it in.
Right. All right, looks like things are about hopefully getting started. I'm seeing an update.
Four rounds today.
We've got Brian and Max, so that's going to be Food Chain versus. Let's come back to the booth real quick.
Delver, or is
that? Max is playing the big red deck, I believe.
Oh,
and then we've got Terry and Stevens. I believe that's going to be a Grixis Delver mirror.
Okay.
I think. So let me guess we'll see. See where they end up sitting down.
Well, while we get this all figured out and people start sitting down, what would chat like to see?
What would chat like to see? Do you guys want to see a Grixis Delver mirror? I think Terry's on Grixis Delver. I don't know 100%. He's either on Grixis Delver or he's on a 4-color check pile deck.
Or Food Chain versus
Big Red.
Big Red.
Painter again? We're not going to have Painter on camera.
Big Red and Food Chain.
Miracles!
Of the decks that are being played on the top.
You're never going to believe this, but our Store Miracles player, you know, the one that pretty much can't lose and wins most of our events.
Mm-hmm.
He played Modern tonight.
Wow.
He's playing blue-white control there as well.
Okay.
Apparently he's tearing it up. So
not terribly surprised.
I don't know. All right. Steven. More Storm. Check. Okay, hold on. Chat. We need to have a talk right now. The choices are Grixis Delver versus Grixis Delver, or Food Chain versus Big Red, or Dragon Stompy, or whatever you want to call it. Those are the choices. Miracles, check pile, or mud.
I could
Storm,
go with
storm.
modern deck and just goldfish in
Painter.
front of everyone.
Grix versus Grix.
So I think we have
Delver Mirror.
Delver
Okay.
Mirror. Interesting.
Down for a Delver Mirror.
well, what's for Grixis. Yep, here
Looks
we go.
like Grix is the.
There we go. All right, we'll check that one out.
Okay. Looks like most people want Grix.
Grixis bug.
You guys have just had it with seeing Brian play Food Chain, huh?
Except for Leonidas. Leonidas wants Food Chain versus Moon Stompy.
Moon Stompy, huh? You want to see the Delver Mirror because it's going to be horrible.
Horrible.
Well, I'm not 100% that Terry's on Grix Delver, but he has been lately, so I think he is.
All right, so Terry gonna take a mulligan.
I saw Dazes. I saw Brainstorms. So I saw some black cards. So
yeah,
I would guess Grixis.
Grixis see things.
I have seen him play Sultai Delver before. I have,
Okay.
but I don't think that's what he's on tonight. But like our Miracles player, Terry tends to be on our top table a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Easily one of the strongest Delver and 4-color players that we have, you know, or even that I've seen. Yep, definitely Delver.
Yep. Those are all Delver type cards. We've got a Scry, so he's keeping his hand. Scry's to bottom. And we're going to start out with the probe so we get a good look at what he kept. Looks like Delver, Wasteland, Daze,
True Name Nemesis.
True Name, and Underground Sea.
And we get his infamous. He pulls his From the Vault Delvers out of his box.
I don't know. Gotta go with that original Nils hand.
Is that how you feel? That's how most people feel. Yeah, he does like his From the Vaults, so.
Alright, so Probe draws card. Steven looking at Daze and Stifle, Force of Will, couple Ponders.
Lightning Bolt is the draw for Terry. He's gonna play Delver.
Delver's going to get a Bolt.
Yep. And I think
I have to imagine that's going to pull a Daze.
I would assume so. Gotta protect the threat.
Just lets it go.
This to me says that he'd like to play a True Name Nemesis as soon as possible. Like that.
Yeah.
You know, he just says that's fine. True Name Nemesis will get the job done later.
I think the Stifle that Steven has is going to be really relevant here. It's either going to keep Terry off of 3 or it's going to hinder that Wasteland taking out one of Steven's lands.
Steven, this Ponder is really interesting. He's seeing 3 creatures, a True Name Nemesis, a Young Pyromancer, and a Gurmag Angler. Not often you see a Ponder just see three threats. He probably would have liked a little more interaction, but he is going to keep them on top, and he's going to... Looks like he drew the Young Pyron.
Yep. Fetch land played, he'll get to kind of manage how many of those he wants to see. Fetch land pass is the play for Terry. Steven draws another card off of that he saw off of Ponder. Plays his Underground Sea. Taps 2 for a Young Pyro. And I think this is exactly where you want to be if you're Steven.
Agreed.
You know about the threats in Terry's hand. You know about how you can play against them. I wouldn't too surprised to see Terry try to fetch here, and then you get to fetch Stifle and get a token, assuming that this Pyro is resolved.
Definitely did. Young Pyro is a draw for Terry. I'm not sure why he didn't try to bolt down this Young Pyro end a turn.
Might be worried about Stifle. We know there's the Wasteland still in hand for Terry. So here we see a crack. And Steven cracks in response.
And looks like we might be seeing a Stifle. Nope.
Can't pull a Wasteland.
Oh,
Nice try. It does Wasteland the land, but can't pull that Wasteland.
Funny how we connect things in our mind. All right. Find some volcanic islands, and we'll see if
Best fetch ever.
I play those.
everybody's trying to play the Wasteland, the other land, while the other one's being fetched.
Yeah, looks like we'll see a Stifle here.
So Stifle, that's gotta draw a Daze. We're gonna see a mana float. Daze cast. Return. Now we're gonna see a fetch. Steven a little late with the trigger on the elemental. We'll see if they catch that or not.
Yeah, it's kind of up to Terry whether he's gonna be okay with him getting that or not.
Yeah, little late, but looks like it's okay. They might be talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so one mana is still floating for Terry, and he still has another Daze. He might feel like this is protected enough to play this Trinium Nemesis.
And then it's also just bolting the diamond too, dude.
Yeah,
It's a lot of value.
I'd be tempted to. You know, you've got that Daze. I think this is the correct play.
Force pitch Stifle, and we've got a Daze.
I would return the Valk. Yeah, you want access to that bolt.
Mm-hmm. So elemental number 2 for Steven, but this Trinium Nemesis is going to present a pretty real clock. Okay, all right, Trinium Nemesis for Steven, and now Steven's pretty far ahead.
Yeah,
he's got 4 lands in play. He's got 2 threats to Terry's 1, and Terry does have a Young Pyro and a Lightning Bolt. He can get back into this, but Daze. Oh, that's a forked bolt. That's a forked bolt.
Cool.
All right, this is gonna take care of Young
damage,
Young Pyro and yeah,
and another bolt in hand as well. So, Terry starting to pull ahead in this race after being kind of behind.
That was a good draw.
Yeah,
the forked bolt was a good draw. I mean, he had the Lightning Bolt for the Young Pyro, which I'm sure that was his plan originally. All right, Wasteland the draw. Wasteland's not really looking like the best card at the moment. He's got 2 of them in hand, and
Terry's Pyro of his own could come down here too, and that could prove to be a little bit dangerous for Steven.
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't really have another line. Like it's either bolt the elemental or play Young Pyro. I think I'd vote for the play Young Pyro.
Well, one thing to consider is playing Pyro here might make Steven play a little bit more defensively.
Okay.
And that might actually lessen your clock, other than just trying to race 3 versus 4 when you know you've got the bolt to finish things off and be a little bit further ahead.
Yeah. All right, so here's a draw for Terry. He's got a Gurmag Angler.
Sure. In with the team for 5. Steven down to 5. I wouldn't be surprised to see double Wasteland into Gurmag, and then Bolt to finish things off.
Haven't really been able to see what Steven's got in his hand. I think he's got a Wasteland. That's not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, Steven holding those cards pretty close, and he's just going to pack it up to the pressure that Terry's put on.
Wow, talk about a back and forth game. There are multiple moments where it's like, okay, this person seems to be ahead, this person seems to be ahead. Some timely top decks and some really well thought out tempo. All right, let's take a look at our backup match for a moment while these guys sideboard.
All right, Transfer in play, as well as Chalice on one, Rabble Master in play, a Thopter token from Pia.
Nalar.
And in for some damages.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a bit of damage. It's 5 damage that Brian's taking, and this is a Rekindling Phoenix.
Oh. Now,
looks like that's getting countered.
There is a Food Chain in play on Brian's side.
Yes.
And Food Chain gonna do a decent job of beating out Trinisphere if things get going. Brian's not too concerned about paying 3 when he's paying 4.
He needs to manipulate Fate or a Griffin. I'm not sure what else he's got in hand, but it looks like Max is just on the beatdown plan here, as he should be. He's a stompy deck. So I have a real question then. Where do we grade Max's basics to Brian's?
It's pretty good.
Give it a solid 6.5.
And Brian gets this is all of Brian's basics, all foil, unstable.
Put it at a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
I really like that swamp, so
yeah. You really like the swamp.
The islands. I think in the islands in the forest.
All right, Fiery Confluence coming down, and that's going to be enough to deal with Brian, who's at 6 life.
Fiery Confluence. That card is incredible.
Yeah.
Every time I see it get cast, I'm like, what doesn't it do? Seriously, though.
The first time I read that card, I was absolutely convinced it cost 5 mana.
Right.
Absolutely. I was like, oh, it's a good card for 5 mana.
Do you think it would be better if it were 5 mana, but also an instant?
Calm down.
It'd be amazing.
Would it be better? Probably would.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, the confluences are pretty good. Most of them are a little too high cost for Legacy, but they're very powerful. The blue one particularly, I got the I got the pretty judge foil put in my cube. That card is very highly picked in cube.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that card is insane. I'm gonna counter your spell and draw 2 cards. Oh, it's or I'm gonna bounce
command, eat your heart out.
bounce all 3 of your creatures, attack, and watch you struggle to play them all again.
Counter bounce draw.
Counter bounce draw.
Is it my turn?
My turn. Oh, it's pretty gross. I like the Wretched Confluence is pretty good too. Yeah, black one. I think the white and the green were the worst.
Even just instant draw 3 is not bad.
Yeah.
Good rate.
It's like the Jace's Intuition at the worst.
Terry Cook took a pretty quick look at his hand and just set it down. I think he's either really happy with it or really unhappy with it.
He's made his decision. He's waiting for Steven to make his.
Pretty quick. It looks like no land. Well, there is a land.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Should be good. All right. So Underway, Underground Sea in play for Steven. Fetch land in play for Terry.
The green one is Arcane Commander. Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, definitely not Legacy playable, that's for sure. Wretched Confluence seems to be the only one that's really broken that barrier.
Steven with the GT. If Steven can get this GT active, it's a really powerful card in the matchup.
Yeah, we haven't seen. Keep in mind though, we've seen turn 1 no creature, turn 2 no creature.
Yeah.
This tells me that he's either, well, actually he played a Wasteland as his second land to cast this.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a
could
red
be,
source.
He could be definitely landlight or without a red source.
This is a really good sign for Terry, and I actually think that this might be something he wants to counter. Here's a Brainstorm.
Yep, we're going to see that get dazed.
Wow. I don't often see Brainstorms countered so early in a game. So
all right, so Wasteland of Zone, we're going to see those trade. And yeah, I think Terry has definitely noticed that Steven is kind of landlight.
yes.
If we see another Wasteland get played here, it could be pretty interesting. Here comes a Delver.
And we see a Gurmag Angler off the top for Terry. But we're going to just start things off with a Ponder.
Sure.
I think he's looking for more land.
There's Wasteland. That's kind of hard to pass up, I think, off of this.
Yeah, it really might be.
See that things.
Well, if he doesn't have another land drop, then I think it's probably the clear choice.
Yeah.
However, if he really needs another source,
yep. Yeah,
I mean,
it seems...
he's about to see two more non-land spell or yeah.
Now, if this Delver flips, then things get interesting. It does flip.
But it's a Brainstorm that he can't cast.
It's uncastable, and if Steven passes the turn without playing a land, which I think he's going to do, I think Terry's going to feel like he's in a pretty good position here.
Yeah. Steven's in draw land or die, and there are lands for Terry. Okay, I did not.
Yeah, Terry has lands.
Okay, I did not see
Steven
that.
does not.
I think he was. I thought he was struggling for a second as well, but that is not the case. Yeah, we're gonna fetch a polluted delta, and here's an underground sea. Think he's looking at Gurmag Angler here?
Could be.
It's a creature that's not going to die to Jitte. However,
that Jitte is a long way from being activated.
mm-hmm.
I think at this point, Terry just wants as quick a clock as possible.
It does. I believe this is a faster clock than the Delver at hand. So
it definitely is.
Oh.
Land drawn for Steven could turn things around, though.
Yeah, it sure can. Volcanic, and what have we got?
So Volcanic. In for 3. Steven's still in an awkward spot playing from behind, has to choose whether he's going to cantrip or hold open some counter magic, and chooses to hold open counter magic. Can brainstorm at end of turn if needed, but less than ideal.
Yeah, takes a look there. Quick shuffle.
Yeah.
Like, nope, do not want these cards.
For sure.
Yeah, Steven's hand is even the fact that he's been land flight, it's still just not that great of a hand. He has a couple things, but
if Steven is able to get another land next turn and get this GT equipped, it might be enough to stem the race in his favor.
Yes,
given the amount of damage that Terry's already taken.
Right. Terry's very clearly looking for a lightning bolt or something that can get rid of this Delver. But Steven's just sitting on Pyroblasts, a Brainstorm, and what, a Young Pyromancer? Is that what
I think
his
if you're
hand is?
Steven, you pretty much have to Brainstorm here at end of turn.
I agree.
And if you're Terry, this is I would almost consider forcing this.
No
lands. We do see a Daze, and we do see looked like another Young Pyro.
Yeah.
All right, in for 3, and that lock I think means that this game is going to go to Terry.
I think so.
It'd be pretty surprising to me to see it go another way, but you never know.
Yeah, I think there needed to be at least a land in those top three. I mean, he probably would have rather. He probably, needed the fetch, but
Sure. Yeah, fetch or any land, but I think double wasteland here is going to be pretty problematic.
Terry still needs to consider the fact that Steven could be holding bolts.
Sure.
If there were lightning bolts in Steven's hand, he probably wins this race.
Yep.
Now Terry does have a force of will in hand, so I'm sure he knows that he can at least handle one of them. But I think one is all it would take to win this race. But we know that Steven's not going to find one though.
Yeah.
Something that just might be going through Terry's head, right?
For sure.
The race is not quite his yet. In his mind, I'm sure.
So Ponder coming down. And third wasteland is going to be pretty brilliant. And we see fourth wasteland as well on the top there.
Is this a diabolic edict?
That's an edict. So
yeah, that'll do.
So I think that edict is going to end up getting dazed. But that daze will probably be forced. And if Steven floats the mana off of that for red, he should be able to pyroblast that in response. We'll see how this kind of plays out here. Kind of surprising that he didn't just go for the wasteland, as it seems kind of like you know he's mana light.
Okay. This is a much better line. He recognizes that he absolutely needs the diabolic edict to resolve.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a much better line.
So he lets this get dazed. He's going to go to 5 off this Delver attack.
So now we can wasteland, play the wasteland.
Yep.
Activate it on your Valk, and that should clear the way for.
Yeah, he'll move to combat
the
here.
Edict.
Don't want that mana to be able to do anything.
Sure.
And this is going to put Steven down to 5.
And here comes Edict, protected by force. And that's going to do it.
Yep. Done.
Okay, well, Steven unable to get there, pretty close regardless. Like, if one more land had been drawn off of that brainstorm, it's a very different game.
Right.
And double, even triple wasteland is very hard to deal with.
It is.
Like, sometimes you just lose to wasteland. That's a big thing in Legacy.
You know what card is in play right now?
Captain
Lannery Storm.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we wanted to see the Storm deck.
You wanted to see the Storm deck?
Oh,
Captain Lannery.
That's awesome.
All right, so catching up here. Max is up a game. I think we're still in game 2. Maybe? I don't know. Probably. We've got a Rekindling Phoenix, a Chrome Mox that I'm not entirely sure if anything's on it. Under it. I can't see what card's under it, but yep, from Popeye Stompy. And then we've got a Chalice on 1. So we get this elemental token from Rekindling Phoenix. This is if Max can make it back to his upkeep, this token will sacrifice and he gets Rekindling Phoenix back from the graveyard
With
haste. Yeah. Not exactly an easy card to remove. I mean, I guess the best removal spell in the format is Swords to Plowshares.
Sure.
Which deals with this quite well, but we've got a lot of 4-color Grixis Delver type stuff going on.
When you're playing Chalice on 1, that's pretty easy to deal with too. There we see a pretty good way to deal with that in Walking Ballista coming down.
Yep.
Taking care of that token. Rabble Master entering the battlefield.
1 damage with the Goblin. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see Brian just pay for another counter on this walking ballista and trade with the Rabble Master.
Yeah.
Looks like he's got a lot of things in hand though.
It's going to be an abrupt decay.
Mm-hmm.
Trinisphere making everything cost 1 more.
Attack for 4. This could put Max to 4. Wow. Looks like Brian's going to take this one.
Max would have to draw something pretty good here. Best outs for Max are probably Fiery Confluence. Here we see a Magma Jet targeting Walking Ballista. And
this is not going to resolve.
Not going to resolve. We're not going to see any scrying going on. Brian's still going to draw a card.
No.
No,
should
this
not
should
be
not
scrying.
be happening. Yeah, that should not have happened. That spell should have been countered.
I may want to go out and let them know that this game should be over.
And here we see a Food Chain and Treasure Mage, and this should be over.
So he's got 1 mana floating here, and then he's gonna
so kill you.
Cast here.
Okay.
Should I run out and let them know that that's not
Yeah.
something that can happen?
Probably.
Okay.
Whip.
So Kyra just informing them that the spell is actually fizzled when Brian shoots with the. I'm just explaining the ruling.
The rule of it.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah, it's one of those things where like the spell actually effectively gets countered.
yeah.
This is on target.
No scrying allowed because the spell is actually fizzled.
Yeah, I let him know, and I was like, he's like, did I do something wrong? And I was like, well, it wasn't supposed to happen like that. That can't happen. And he goes, oh, and Brian's like, should have got that. Like he's like, Brian's like, oh, dang it. But Brian does get this game, so we'll get a game 3 here, and this will be the last game of our tournament.
Yeah.
Terry took things down with Grixis Delver. I mean, I think most people are pretty aware that Grixis Delver is.
It's a pretty good deck. Yeah.
It's really good.
But you kind of see both sides of it in that match. Like, you know, it is very good, but it's also very fragile in specific ways.
It is.
And we saw that a lot in that second game. Excuse me.
I think the big thing about Grixis Delver in the format at the moment is that even, you know, I think the general public, as far as just Magic players go, they don't really get to see how many decks are good against Delver.
Sure.
Because there are actually a lot. There are a lot of decks that have good matchups against Grixis Delver. But the problem is those decks, they can't beat combo. Most of them have a really, really hard time with combo. And they get pushed out of the format a little too easily. And next thing you know, Grixis Delver's just kind of on top.
So Max with the Chalice on 1 to start things out.
Shamans.
Pretty typical stuff here for Dragon Stompy.
Yeah, just Captain Lannery Storm.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Yeah.
But nothing to play with 3.
Looks like he's got a Phoenix on 4.
Okay. We're going to cast that next turn. Alright, Brian's going to shortcut and fetch a couple times, and then we'll get a draw off this Baleful Strix.
Damping Sphere might help some of the fragile decks. Possibly.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah, Damping Sphere is kind of an interesting one. It's pretty...
It's a versatile hate card.
Pretty versatile.
Doesn't damage people's decks very much to have it in it.
Right, like, if you're just playing one spell a turn, who cares?
Yep.
Right? Like, not a big deal. The fairer your deck is, the easier it is to play it. And unlike Sphere of Resistance, where it taxes both players,
so we get a Magma Jet on Baleful Strix, and he goes, so I get to scry, right?
Yeah.
he's like, so okay, so I'm good to scry. Brian's just probably laughing. You're good. Trinisphere. So yeah, we've mentioned before that Trinisphere really doesn't mess with Brian's combo.
Yeah.
It can make a couple things more obnoxious, but where his 1-drops already get countered, he's probably not too concerned about this Trinisphere.
Yeah, fair enough, Sage.
Right, yeah. It is 2 mana.
I think a lot of decks have more specialized hate that they'd prefer to bring in.
Yep.
And what that is depends on what it is. Like, if you're playing blue, you've got plenty of options. If you're not, you've got other options. If you're worried about Storm, you've got plenty of things that are either colorless or cast Phyrexian mana that can help you out.
Yeah, and you mentioned most legacy decks. I agree. I think there will be a couple that it works well in.
Yep.
But I don't think it'll be in most legacy decks for sure.
Yep.
But it's nice to see that we're actually getting something that might be usable.
Yep.
In legacy. So
Dirtily Tezzeret for sure.
Dirtily Tezzeret, yeah. Tezzeret would appreciate dampening sphere or whatever it's called.
I wonder if that's something that Lands is interested in over like Sphere of Resistance as a sideboard card.
Yeah, maybe.
It doesn't tax their gambles or their life from the loans.
So this is a Tombstalker from Brian.
It does have
block.
flying.
Yes, it does.
Block. 4/4 blocked. Yeah.
I'm not sure about this, but I think that Tombstalker might not be foil.
Uh-oh.
What is Brian doing?
And Tombstalker eats a Magma Jet to get finished off there. Magma Jet costing 3 off of Trinisphere.
Yep, and I believe we're going to see a Walking Ballista and see something pretty similar that we saw last time.
Sure. Ballista's going to take care of that.
How cool would be just like surgical Phoenix and just not deal with it again?
Yeah, just get rid of it. Can't deal with that card. It's such a cheap foil too. Yeah, exactly. It's not even expensive. And not only that, but he's using like a Modern Masters one and not the cool border one.
Man.
Unbelievable.
Confluence coming in, and that's going to deal some damage.
Yep.
Brian down to 13. Escanta doing some work. Gonna get a trigger here. Likes that card.
I think that's a Leovold.
That is a Leovold. Leovold enters play.
No, Leovold in this matchup probably isn't isn't at its best. However, it is a decent sized body that can jump in front of Rabble Master tokens and Captain Lannery Storm or whatever. So I think he's pretty happy having this on board. Not only that, but when you play Food Chain, you really do need a creature to sacrifice to go off immediately. Probably the appeal to this card.
Sure. Turns off Magma Jets a little bit, makes things a little bit worse to kind of try and fight through if Brian is on the creature plan.
Right.
Which seems pretty reasonable here. Most of his creatures are going to line up pretty favorably.
Yeah, it does mess with Fiery Confluence a little bit. However, if you do choose the modes of deal 1 damage to each creature, it can just kill.
It depends on the mode, Sage.
It doesn't deal the damage in separate times. It's all one. I think it's all one ability.
It depends on how it's worded.
Yeah, I don't think you draw 3. I think it would just be draw 1. Yeah, I think it combines the modes.
Griffin is the play.
Well,
that blocks.
Yep.
Why?
3 mana, we get a Pia Nalar. Not a card we see a whole lot either.
Yeah.
Maybe in Standard you might see it a little bit, but...
Dragon Stompy, you're more used to seeing Pia and Kieran.
Maybe just switching out the curve.
It really does look like Max has recognized that you want to have a lot of 3-drops in this deck.
Yep.
Like most people are pretty good at like making sure you either don't have 4 mana or they. I feel like these Dragon Stompy decks are so full on 4 that if people can mess with your lands at all, you're gonna have trouble.
Sure. Ballista taking care of that Phoenix again, doing a good job of keeping those off the board.
Now, PNLR does give you a mana sink to pump this Thopter as many times as you'd like. Looks like he's just gonna attack for 3 here. No pumps on the Thopter.
If Brian feels too threatened, he can always just pop it with the Ballista. I think Brian's feeling pretty safe here.
Agreed. This isn't a board state that he's too worried about. I mean, his life total is below 10, so he does need to consider that, but I don't think he's worried.
Maybe could have been decent pumping the Thopter and getting the Ballista off the board. That way you can't like put more mana into
Could
it.
be. It definitely stops Food Chain from being a thing, like if it gets into play and then get rid of Leovold and go into like a Mist Hollow or something like that. It stops that from being an immediate win.
Okay, we've got a Murderous Cut. Delve does work well with Trinisphere, as far as I know, because it is essentially mana.
And also works well with Mist Hollow Griffin, which gets exiled and able to be cast from exile.
Yep.
Providing a nice blocker for that Thopter and getting another 3-power flyer into play.
Blood Moon off the top for Max, and Brian goes, I'm prepared.
My basics.
Yep. He's got his Forest, Island, and Swamp, and then he'll have 2 mountains as well.
Yep. We'll stop that Azcanta from flipping into relevant land, so just kind of in scry mode. But
well, look at this. He just pays 4 mana, pumps the Ballista, kills the Thopter, and comes in for 5 damage.
A lot of damage coming through. 7 damage coming through.
Wow.
And that's going to present lethal next turn.
If it wasn't a Fiery Confluence, then it wasn't good enough. Sure. So looks like Brian's going to take this match.
Oh, and there was the massacre where
he's like, I had it. Oh man.
So Brian takes the final round of our tournament. Food Chain getting there.
So it looks like Food Chain and Grixis Delver are our 4-0s.
Yep.
For today, Brian's got to feel pretty good about that, and I think that Terry has got to be feeling good about that as well, because I think both of them plan to go to Seattle.
Yeah.
Here in a couple weeks. Yeah. A lot of people here at the store are getting prepped up for this turn for
lots of people doing testing. 2P. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. If you haven't checked out Bricefelt Altars or Cats and Cantrip tokens, you definitely should. We've had MTG Bot throwing those out during the stream.
If you like Legacy action, we're here twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, bringing you live Legacy action, and we'd love it if you join us. If you haven't subscribed or followed yet, please give us a subscription or follow, and that way you can keep in touch and keep up with all of our Paragon City Games action.
Awesome. Yeah, and we also do day streams. They're definitely more inconsistent than they were.
Sure.
But if you give us a follow, you can always see when we go live. Brian and I are usually teaming up doing some MTGO Legacy content as well.
For sure.
So, awesome. Thank you so much, guys, and Hail Heroes.
Hail Heroes.
Hail Heroes.